All right, Bob. Blinded. We are live.
What's up? What's up?
I'm gonna play some Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. I bought this. I never played it because that's how I do. That's how I roll. Just buy shit and never actually play it. I'm one of those fake gamers.
Exposed.
Yeah. We need a term for like shelf collector but digital collector.
Digital hoarding. That's what you call it.
Can you even hoard stuff digitally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm bad for that. I have to have as much storage on my consoles as possible just to download all the games I've paid for and own.
Yeah, but
I don't really like doing that. Nah.
Doesn't hoarding mean that you have to like have things from that other people like to keep them from others getting it?
No, that's not what hoarding is. No.
I don't think you can digitally hoard things. I don't think that jives. Like those two concepts seem.
Digital hoarding is when you just have abundance of things that you don't really need, but you just keep it anyway.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I'd agree with that.
Is this a JRPG? It's got a girl. What makes it
it's an anime looking girl. It's definitely JRPG.
It's got
Damn, I feel so bad for the people who are still clamoring for a PS5. Couldn't be me. They just look so desperate.
I got mine.
It's
right
like
away.
any site.
I still don't understand how people couldn't get like. Sony literally was like, "Hey, we're giving them away. Do you want one?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
I got mine after a year.
He qualifies for digital hoarding.
Yeah,
I got mine like 6 months after it came out. It was a bit of work and effort to get, but I got mine at retail.
Oh, we got Ninja Kitty coming in.
Oh, he's here for the smoke. Oh shit, he's gonna fucking assassin. Where's Gary?
I'm wondering where Gary is.
What'd you do with him? What'd you do with Gary?
Because now, in case you didn't know, Gary believes that the Switch OLED is superior to the Steam Deck.
I know.
Like, in what way? Because I seen this, I was confused.
In a technical matter, not like.
No.
And he's saying
that's all you need to say.
He's saying because like the OLED screen is better. I'm not denying this, but the complete package is not even close.
Yeah.
Oh man, why does Gary got to make us Nintendo fans look bad? Oh shit.
And I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I decided to play my Switch today. And I'm actually playing currently Kirby in the Forgotten Worlds, like the newest one.
Right.
That one's actually pretty good.
The game is fun and not bad, but it's struggling to run 30 frames per second. It's struggling.
Yeah.
And like I thought Link's Awakening was bad. Like we talked about that last week. Kirby, like this, there's some really horrendous slowdown. This is in docked mode also.
I was just about to ask, was it docked or not?
Oh, that might be why, because I don't. It doesn't do that often in handheld mode. From what I played.
Like it's okay because the game is slow, but
that's probably because they downscale the resolution on handheld.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at least. Like goes down something ridiculous. Like I think even down to like 240p at times.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really horrendous.
They need that Switch Pro.
Maybe in 5 years.
Well, they did leak it. NVIDIA when they talked about the 40 series.
Oh, really?
Leak what?
Yes. They did talk about the next chip that is going to be used for whatever the next Switch is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Switch 2.
It would be nice if it was a Switch 2. I think what they're going to do is the Switch is going to be like an iPhone where it's like updated all like not I won't say all the time, but like there will just be the Switch and then they'll have like an updated model every like couple of years or whatever.
So
Yeah.
basically,
I
like
don't know how that's
Xbox,
gonna go.
like Xbox and
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, the way they're going, because I looked at Digital Foundry's analysis of whether there's going to be a PS5 Pro or what, and from their analysis of like the technology and the manufacturing process, it's just not really feasible or possible. So
There's really no point at this point if they're selling out.
Yeah, real quick, we're gonna get to this. Tommy O says Mike Mullis is gonna come after me. He can't because it's not his video, even though he's in the video.
why is Mike Mollis going to come after you?
Because he was featured in one of those videos we played. He's always striking
Oh boy.
people. I have not played the new Saints Row. I was going to get it, but
Don't get it. Maybe in a couple of months.
yeah.
It'll definitely drop in price.
Yeah.
Also, Wisp says that he got hundreds of games he's never played.
Same.
Oh man.
Same.
I would say how many games I have, but apparently I do too much bragging about all my games, and I'm poor.
Well, I know I've got close to 400 on PlayStation alone.
Like purchased?
Yeah,
Okay.
purchased.
Wow, that's a lot.
Damn.
I mean, I think some might be from PS Plus, but I've only had I've only been on well, it's all PlayStation 4, and I only got PlayStation 4 about 7 years ago, so it could be about 100 of those or more.
God
Are they
damn.
like indie games or like full price AAA games?
Some are given away. Some are full-priced AAA games. I'm going by my install list. I don't really play many indie games, to be honest, unless they're exceptional. So mostly AAA
Because
games
when
I install.
that heathen Gary complains that I blow money on stuff. I buy like 20 games. I spend like $30 or $50. Like it's not that much on Steam.
Yeah.
Vaporware Dude says he's got about 600, mostly OG Xbox and 360.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're counting all the games, including the ones I've beaten, then yeah, I got close to 600 or 700 games.
Jeez, Tony bragging because he has so much money.
Can we count? Can we? Probably not. But can we count ROMs?
That doesn't count.
No. Come on, Bob. No.
What about mini console libraries?
As long as they're not illegal.
No.
You can't count Clubhouse games as like 50 different games.
Yeah.
Only if you're comparing it to the Miko though. Like I did.
Big oof. Oh no.
Yeah, I haven't looked at how many Xbox games I got, but I should have a bunch of digital 360 and Xbox One games.
How many physical games do you have?
Very few. I sold most of my collection a few years ago. I've got about 100 to well, maybe more like 150 to 200 physical games.
That's not a few, man. That's a lot.
That's not a lot, relatively.
Most people have 20 or less. I'm talking about just average people.
I know people who just, my IRL friends group, they will buy a new game, play it for a week, and then just sell it because they're done with it.
That's what people used to always do.
Yeah.
Use the credit at the store to get the newest games.
Yeah, that's what they do, yeah. Because I was just thinking, yeah, I've got a box of 360 games. I've got a shelf of games I want on display. That's probably about 150. And then the rest I kind of sold. I had like 50 Mega Drive games I sold and about the same NES and SNES games.
Trojan Horse is probably my favorite forever moment. What the hell are you talking about?
What in the world?
What in the world are y'all talking about?
Ninja Key, do you know when the next Steam sale is? Is there a Christmas Steam sale?
They have them every week.
Oh, yeah, they have but they normally have a big sale, don't they? Like they have the
There's a
summer
sale right now on Steam.
All right.
Well, the problem is the in the old days, back in the day, the AAA games used to be dirt cheap, like on their Christmas sales and summer sales and spring sales. And then they changed it up, and for the longest time, for like 2 or 3 years, there's crap sales. But now they're starting to come around again. But
Right.
it's more so like the indie games, like the smaller studio games that get the good, the 70-80% sales.
Yeah, yeah.
Get Moonlighter right now on Steam. It's 80% off.
How much is it, cash?
It's like $3.99.
What kind of game is it?
It's a roguelike dungeon crawler /
Sold.
Well, if that's all you want, there's like 1,000 of those games.
I know.
I know, right?
It is not hard to find those.
I think I figured out how to tell a JRPG from an RPG. An RPG lets you play the game right away. A fucking JRPG makes you fucking read about 100 cutscenes before actually playing the game.
I don't know. Some of the other Western RPGs take forever to like customize your character and get into the game.
But if you're like me, you just skip all the customization.
I think how you differentiate between a JRPG and a regular RPG is JRPGs have merchandise where grown men will buy pillows with the female characters.
Oof.
Western RPGs, they just stick to figurines and stuff.
You say that now, but when we start selling Ninja Kitty body pillows, you're not going to be complaining.
Oh man,
good idea. It'd be pretty big. What's that big guy from? It'd be a Snorlax pillow because I'm 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Like those giant ones. I'm not sure you've seen them before. They're absolutely massive. You can buy.
What up, No Call, No Show? It's been a while. I haven't seen you around.
I was also going to give Gary a hard time. I haven't fully looked into it, but the Shovel Knight Dig came out. And
what was that game?
I was reading some of the reviews, and they're pretty bad. Like, they're mixed.
Are they?
Yeah. Being the game is too easy, too short, really buggy. So Gary's going to have a heart attack, because there's no possible way he can let that be a not a great game.
I'm looking at it right now. Kind of looks like a mobile game or a flash game.
That's what I said when I saw it. But he was like, no, it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be the greatest.
Well, it's a rogue game.
Just
like
the idea.
Like a digger, what do you call it? Mr. Driller type game?
Yeah.
That's roguelike, but people are saying there's lots of bugs in it, and also that it only took them like 4 or 5 hours to get through it.
Oof.
And then after they're like, there's no point once you get through it. It's kind of easy. But Gary really likes that studio or that publisher.
Well, it's got an 83 on Metacritic. EGM gave it 100.
I was reading the customer reviews, like people reviews on Steam.
Gaming Bolt 90, IGN 80, Destructoid 85. There's no user scores on Metacritic yet.
You go to Steam and it had mixed reviews. Like that was the average was a mixed review. That's bad for it.
All right, let's go.
I'm definitely not feeling this, especially compared to the original.
Yeah, I got 106 reviews, and it's mixed. We got lots of bad reviews.
Ooh.
It's 10% off now. So.
Well, I was reading the reviews, and it wasn't just lame reviews, people saying, "Oh, it's not like the original." It was complaints on the controls, complaints on how easy it was. That's the main thing. How shallow and easy it was.
They're making way too many Shovel Knight games, says someone in the IGN comments.
Well, weren't all the other Shovel Knight games just basically like DLC?
Yeah.
The main.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a whole bunch of Shovel Knight games. It was like Shovel Knight, and then like we just changed the main character. Now it's like this other guy.
Mm. Maybe more so that they're just like milking it.
I've never played Shovel Knight. Gary swears it's like the greatest game ever.
It's not the greatest game ever. It's good. It's not the greatest. Though.
Yeah.
Are you saying Gary has bad takes and I shouldn't listen to him?
Well, it's a fun game. Like I enjoyed it, but I've played better ones, better Shovel Knights than Shovel Knight. Like the Messenger is like way better in it.
Oh, I really want to play that. It's on my to-do list.
And some of the DLC, like because you play as different characters, that's what the DLC was. And some of the characters are really good, and some were just terrible.
Mm. I'm not sure what Gary's taste is, because he like shits on games, and then he plays those games, and then he likes them. So, like, you have to like really sit him down and like point out what games are his favorite. I don't know. He goes all over the place. So.
Yeah, he also complains about price being too much, and then he's like, "Why are you considering price?" I'm like, "Gary, it's like a 4-hour game. Why would I pay $50 for it?" So, yeah, I don't know. He's not like that bad take Bob. That's for sure.
Where is Bob?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
What about Bob?
It sounded like he like left. Or he got offended.
I like Shovel Knight. Only played it through once. Is there any replay value to Shovel Knight?
Nah.
Never played it. People keep recommending it to me, saying I'd like it, but I haven't got around to it.
Yeah. I think every week for the last like year, Gary's like, "You gotta play Shovel Knight. You haven't played Shovel Knight?" I'm like, "The fucker never goes on sale."
But you're rich. That's what I was told. If you're willing to drop all that money on a shell.
Rich people don't just throw their money around. That's not how they became rich. You got to be frugal. That shell's an investment. When I have the only Amico to ever leave the Amico factory, or the closest thing to an Amico, I'm gonna be set for life.
Possibly. How much did Keemstar offer you for it?
$1,000.
That's an insult, man.
That's what I told him. I was like, "Dude, I paid twice as much." When it's the centerpiece of every fucking Amico documentary, when you're like, "I'm gonna charge people like a license fee $100 to show it in the documentary."
What are you talking about? DGC is going to be getting his soon.
He's gonna be saying that for the next 10 years.
Well, I forgot to mention, I talked to a few developers, and they said that they actually haven't been asked for their dev kits back yet.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I don't think that means anything though.
well, we were suspecting that they were going to take the dev kits and just like gussy them up and make them into prototype units
Consoles?
they sent out.
Oh,
Well, they might have internal dev kits, is what I was thinking, not the dev kits they've already given out.
Well, I was told that there was like no, like just the ones they gave out and the ones that they were schlepping around were the only fucking ones that existed. Like they would literally take them to like the events and then have to bring them back to the fucking offices so they could test out the games and shit.
Right.
mm. All right, let's talk about the 40 series, Bob.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Where do we start?
Let me pull up some article. Because there's a lot of shit.
I just bought Moonlighter, Tony.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm gonna install it now.
Good job. You let me know how you think.
Even though it's free on Xbox,
What?
it was on Game Pass for the longest time. I don't know if it's still on though.
No, I'd rather own my games anyway, and I want to play it on PC, so for higher resolutions and shit. Even though it's an indie game and like a gigabyte. PC's better than console anyway, so.
Except the Switch, apparently.
Well, obviously.
So I guess the first thing really to mention is the pricing of the 40 series. I mean,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The 4090 is coming in at $1,600. The 3080 16 gig, is it 16 gig or 12 gig? I think it's 16 gig. No. Oh, let me look. Shit.
Which one was that for? Say it again.
4080. Either 16.
God damn.
Oh, here I've got the tech specs.
Okay.
Yeah, the 4080 16 gig is 1,200, and the 12 gig is 900. And I think there's a few reasons. There's a lot of reasons why it's priced so highly. One of the key reasons is I heard from J2 Cents that Nvidia.
From who?
J2 Cents. He's a big YouTuber who does PC builds and PC advice and stuff. Sometimes he has some takes people would consider not great, but he was saying that Nvidia, these were probably ordered during the crypto madness, and Nvidia wasn't expecting the prices to drop or normalize so soon, so they were aiming for more performance with their cards than consumer friendly prices. And I also suspect that one of the I also suspect one of the reasons they're so highly priced is to make the 30 series more appealing, because currently we hear that they're overstocked with 30 series, and I don't see Nvidia wanting to drop the prices of them too much, because they're going to lose too much money if they drop them too low. So I think it's kind of a bit of both, really.
But did you see what the CEO said?
What did he say?
He's like, okay, I'll just pull it up on PC Gaming. Proclaims that Moore's Law is dead. So he's basically like, yeah, just deal with the price hike, because like we're never going to lower them. Like they're supposed to get increasingly expensive over time.
Oh.
So a lot of people were complaining because they were like, well, if that's the case, why don't you drop the price of the older series? And a lot of people are like, it's probably bullshit. They probably just want to, get people's money, price gouge everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because they've seen how much money people are willing to spend on the graphics card through the crypto madness. So they obviously want those profits instead of some scalpers getting the profits.
Yeah. And what was it? People were saying that the whole crypto thing has crashed now, because I have no clue about any of that. So people are like, oh, it's crashed, so why are you charging so much, right? Like they kind of are settling. No, but I mean, like, because it's nobody's really, there's not really a demand like it was maybe like a year ago.
It ain't even the demand. On the 15th of September, there was a changeover for Ethereum to proof of stake. So now GPUs aren't used for mining. I don't understand all of it. It's ASIC now.
Yeah, I don't either.
So they don't use the GPUs now. So there's allegedly going to be a flood of secondhand GPUs any day now on the secondhand market.
Well, there already was. I was just about to say that. It's because it's costing more. Part of it is it costs more to mine than it is what it's worth right now. So they had a big flood of secondhand units. And then
Well, I think there was still profit to be made. It's because the length of time became too long to turn a profit. Because normally, before it was taking crypto miners 6 months to recoup their investment, and then it got to a point where it's taking too long, and also the value bottomed out, and then the proof of stake changeover over with Ethereum was a big gutting of the need for GPUs. So it's a multiple factors.
I'm down like fucking 60% on my fucking crypto.
Shouldn't have listened to Gen X Gamer.
I did. It was going up. It was predicted to be 10,000. Ethereum was supposed to hit 10K by the end of the year. That was the prediction in January.
Right. I'd never pay. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Well, it seemed the trend that it was going on, it was heading that way.
I had no way. Like I got in and got out quickly with my Bitcoin when I saw it getting to like, what was it? It was getting to about 35, 40, and I think it peaked at about 52,000. And I was like, I got out a bit too early, but I didn't mind because I was like, this is as much as it's going. And no way did I think Ethereum was going to go that high. I mean, at one point it was approaching 2,000-3,000 at most. And then when it started crashing down, I was like, if it goes below 1,000, then I'm going to invest some money in it.
Well, it was going up, and then fucking Elon Musk did that fucking tweet that killed it.
Right.
But like I said, it was supposed to hit 10K, so I had invested towards, I think, like March. I put a bunch in because last year I made a bunch of money on the crypto.
Yeah.
So
I just can't morally do cryptocurrency after watching that guy's documentary about it and realizing it's just a bigger fool scam.
Oh, what documentary is that? I want to watch that.
What's it called again? The Line Goes Up by
Carl Jobs.
Line Goes Up.
Not Carl Jobs.
Folding Ideas is the.
Oh, Folding Ideas did one. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And that a lot of people are saying that the line goes up. The problem with NFTs, it's mostly about NFTs, but it basically covers a lot about crypto. The timing of the documentary kind of coincided with the crash, so a lot of people are saying it contributed. It got like 9.1 million views, so I wouldn't be surprised if it had some influence.
I've been meaning to watch that video. I just never have.
It's really good. It's really interesting and informative.
Yeah, because I liked his stuff when he was ripping apart Suicide Squad. That shit was funny.
Yeah. I've seen. I got into him when I was looking up debunking flat Earth.
Why
would you even need to look that up, Bob? Just go outside and be like, "Yep, it's not flat."
No, I was just curious. I was curious as like what other people were talking about and the science behind it and all that stuff. Debunking
Flat Earth
like...
science is all just crap science. It's like they ignore a bunch of stuff and they're just like, yeah, it's flat. I've heard one of the arguments for flat Earth. I shit you not. They say, you know how in the textbooks it shows the ship going up, and like you could only see the top of the mast. As it comes over the horizon, you'll be able to see more and more of the ship, right? Because the Earth is curved. That's like in all the science books, right? I've heard flat earthers go, if you go out to the dock and you look, you see the whole ship come at once because the Earth is flat. It's not coming around the curve.
What the fuck?
So that's how they know that the Earth is flat, because the ships just show up straight. They don't show like part of the ship first because you're not looking over a curve because it's flat. And once I heard that, I was like, yep, these guys are fucking morons.
Yeah.
You had to hear that first to realize they're morons. I don't think I needed to watch a documentary to know that they're morons.
I
watched the documentary.
No, I didn't need to see the documentary to know they're morons, but I kind of wanted to see just the general information, and then it got into Dan. I think it's Dan. Oh, what's his name? Is it Dan Brown? Folding Ideas or something? I think it's Dan something. But then he was like, it's not even the flat Earth which is the problem. It's the fact that it leads into other things like QAnon, and then looking into like a tiny bit into like QAnon and the Q drops is absolutely bonkers and insane. People who follow that stuff are just cuckoo. They're like,
wait. Are you trying to say that Donald Trump really isn't the president who's secretly running the country from Mar-a-Lago? And that the elites are out to get him, Bob? Are you telling me that this is wrong?
I don't know about all that, but just like the vague stuff I started hearing about QAnon and
you didn't hear that supposedly according to QAnon, they were going to arrest Kamala Harris and Joe Biden at the inauguration. That they set them up to pretend to be president so they could get arrested. It was like the craziest fucking thing I've ever read.
Yeah.
Right.
There's an HBO documentary on it. It's super interesting. I don't know if the guy that they interviewed is actually QAnon, but I don't know. It was pretty convincing. And that guy just seemed like he wanted to fuck around with people.
Yeah. Have you seen these Q drops, like encrypted, like subtle messages they post on? Is it 4chan or something where they drop them, or whatever website they?
Yes.
I think it's even.
No, I think I don't think it was 4chan. I think it was 8chan.
Right, whichever one of those chans it is.
Because like the guy who runs, this is right in the documentary. Like the guy who runs 8chan, his son, and him are supposedly the people behind Q, and like the whole just like making up bullshit. But then I think they eventually stopped, and then someone else just fucking took over. But they just never wanted to admit that they were the original people behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bob, question. Are you telling me that Darius Truxton's insane?
Yes, categorically. But I thought we don't talk about that stuff anymore.
Okay, yeah. Hey, you know what's a good channel if you want to watch funny shit? Is I think it's Channel 5 News, but it used to be All Gas No Breaks.
Oh, right, yeah.
The guy, like the tall, goofy-looking guy who goes to like conventions and stuff. And when he went to a flat Earth convention, it's amazing to watch. It's like you think it's not real, but it's real. Like, as in, like it's all actors acting, but no, it's just really insane people.
Is it Andrew Callahan, Channel 5?
Yes.
Yeah. I've got that. I'm subscribed. I've been meaning to watch that, but
he goes to a lot of hilarious, just messed up places. And it's just super funny.
Yeah. Been on my to-do list.
I'm gonna check that out.
No, it's good. And even the old stuff on All Gas No Breaks, like he'll go to like protests and go right in the middle of the protests and like interview people.
Oh boy!
And you get everything.
Yeah, the QAnon people though. At one point they said it was Trump who was the one behind it. It changed like all the time though. It's weird.
And then Trump was all supporting it and being like, "Yes, I like QAnon," or some shit.
Yeah, but then he backtracked, I think.
Yeah,
because that got fucking crazy. First, it was just like, "Yeah, Trump should be president." He's like, "Yeah, I agree with that." And he's like, "The fucking aliens are infecting Hillary Clinton's brains." Like, whoa, guys.
Whoa, slow.
We're off message.
I just, it's wild that it just keeps going. It's like the biggest form of gaslighting I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think at one point QAnon said that if you watch the Obama videos and stuff of him talking as president, and if he blinks or looks to the left or some shit, like that means it's going to rain the next day because he controls the weather.
Oh God.
These people have some kind of crazy imagination, man.
I think it's like there was some piece of truth, and then it was like, well, if this is true, then this other thing must be true, and then it like keeps going, and that's how they're able to believe it. Because like I can't see any other way. You know, like people aren't just like crazy. They gotta
No, they
believe
are.
in something.
They are crazy, blinded.
I mean,
Look at
they are
Tommy.
crazy, but like logically speaking.
Look at Tommy Tallarico. He tells you something that's true, like he worked on a video game, and then he's like, "Yeah, but Shigeru Miyamoto is my best friend, and we go out for sake, and we fucking killed the hooker." It's like, wait a minute, Tommy, that shit doesn't sound true.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Back in the day, I loved a good conspiracy theory, but these days they're just getting, as Haunted Whisper's saying, they're just getting so fantastical. And I'm a believer in Occam's razor, that usually the simplest answer is usually the right answer. I know I've butchered that quote, but
Occam's razor, yeah, that's basically it.
You know, I'm a more believer in science and facts and provable.
You're more a believer in science fiction than science fantasy?
Yes.
Bruh.
Haunted Wisp says there's a grain of truth in every conspiracy, otherwise they won't swallow the poison pill.
I agree with that. That's the only way I can rationalize it. Because some conspiracies.
Part of it is that, and the other part is they'll tell you something like, "Bob, I know you're really smart, Bob. You're smart like me, right? And smart people like us, Bob, we don't believe that the Earth is round because we're not dumb. We don't buy into this whole conspiracy, right? We're smart. We know science. Here's some math, and look. I worked it out for you, Bob. Just read this math. It'll tell you that the Earth is flat, and fucking give me $9.99 for the book on flat Earth theory."
You're coming across like Tommy Tallarico now, dude.
I'm telling. That's how they do it. I've seen like enough flat Earth people, enough conspiracy people. That's how they sell it.
He's seen his fair share of East Coast Italians.
Yeah.
Grifters.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to offend if you have any flat earthers or whatnot, but have you guys ever known an actual Scientologist?
No.
Because I worked with one, and when he told everyone, we were just in awe because we're just trying. It's I don't even know what it was. It's hard to explain. Your opinion on the person changes immediately because he seemed like a normal fella beforehand, and it's more so just it's like an alien came into the tell us about your planet, and nice guy, no, not a jerk, not a bad person, but kind of intelligent. He wasn't dumb either. Just similar. I see similar personality traits to the people who became in the Miko cult. Meaning this guy was kind of never grew up with friends, never part of a club or a group or anything, looking for acceptance. And
that's a lot of shade.
And no, that's why I said on stream before. And it's fascinating, as all I'll say.
Well, the whole thing with Scientology is it's a book by L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah,
that was fucking all over the 80s. You'd always see the commercial Dianetics, L. Ron Hubbard. It was a science fiction book. It's like reading Star Wars and going, "That's my fucking religion. This is 100% factual. This shit happened." It's literally about a space alien overlord.
You don't need other aliens. You don't need to explain it. We've all watched the South Park episode.
Yeah.
I don't think we all have. I don't think everyone is watching.
Who's watching?
Surely the same could be said about the Bible. As written by a person at some point. Wasn't written by no deity.
I still think it's slightly different, though.
Bush was on fire, and it said Moses. This is the shit. This is the fucking realness.
I mean, that's as
totally different. It's completely different, Bob.
That's as believable to me as space aliens and Xenu and Hawaii and dropping bodies into volcano. It's like, wow.
Oh my God.
I can't believe you would compare the Bible, which is a literal fact, to something like a Scientology book.
It isn't the worst comparison I would make.
You're insulting the religious guy in the group here.
I think I'm insulting. I think like a majority of, well, considering a majority of people use the internet and YouTube is American, I'm insulting like most of the people probably on this stream because a lot of Americans are religious.
Are they?
Are they? Yeah, I was gonna say. I think
Maybe
it's
just
kind of
another end.
declining.
I think disproportionately, there's a higher percentage of religious Americans.
Well, what do we consider religious? Because
Any religion.
That's what I was gonna say. I think there are more religious people than non-religious. But if you go like Catholic/Christian, I think there's more non-Catholic/Christian people than there are Catholic/Christian people. Because I mean, there's a whole bunch of like Wiccans and like other like Satanists and shit. They're technically religious, right?
Yeah, they are religious.
They're just not what we would consider good religions.
Hey, do you even know what Wiccans believe? I've known Wiccans.
They believe that the Earth Mother comforts them with the goodness of fucking dirt or some shit.
To a degree, but they're also like very good people, and they're very.
Everybody's good people until they start killing you and sacrificing you to their gods.
Yeah, I don't think Wiccans do sacrifices.
What the hell is Carl on the stream again? Why are we talking about sacrificials?
Why wouldn't we?
Bruh.
Sounds like something a cultist would say.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I love how we went from the 40 series to Scientology.
Yeah.
That was you guys. I just jumped in when you started talking conspiracy theory.
Just want to let you guys know,
because
the 40 series pales in comparison to a Switch OLED. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man.
Well, bringing it back around to the 40 series, I don't know how much better they are compared to the 30 series. So far, we haven't seen much, which looks great. Statistically,
they've been...
like, got more CUDA cores and a higher base clock and turbo boost, more RAM, more memory on them, more power consumption and stuff. But actual performance, I don't know.
They have barely showed anything.
Yeah, it's very.
It's mostly about ray tracing, which
and DLSS 3.
Mm-hmm. The ray tracing, I really think they're pushing it, but it's not going to be like such a big thing. To be honest,
I've been messing around with a little bit of ray tracing in Doom Eternal. I don't know if that's the best example of ray tracing, but I honestly can't tell any difference apart from on some surfaces you can see the reflection of Doomslayer. And in gameplay, it doesn't really. It's not something you register. I was looking at Deathloop on Digital Foundry's recent analysis of their ray tracing implementation, and it's cool that shadows are softened and have a more realistic like gradient, but how much are you going to notice that? How much are you going to notice that in actual gameplay, moving fast?
Depends on the game. I would say I would say Doom Eternal is not a good game to test that on, since you're continuously moving so fast you're barely even registering what's going on screen because there's so much action.
Sure, and also I don't think the lighting in that game is like a good representation. Like it's usually if you games with like in the harsh sunlight kind of look a little bit better than if something that's like, well, in Doom it's like mostly kind of like shadows and it's not really a lot of sunlight.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, but I think you can kind of tell.
I need to get Control on PC to test it. I've got Control on PS5, but I can't. At 30 frames, it's just I'm not playing.
No, don't play that game at 30 frames. No,
I can't do 30.
I'll do even one better. Don't even play the game.
I would say the game is it's
not massive.
Yeah.
It has a lot of problems. I think the premise of it is very interesting, but like the gameplay is really lacking. Like it's such a downgrade.
The gameplay reminds me of early Xbox 360 games.
Yes, and the last boss for the main story is like really embarrassing.
What?
Yep.
What game?
For Control.
I got that free.
Same.
So did I on Game Pass, but I still want my money back.
Bruh.
It wasn't the worst game, but people gave it Game of the Year. Like, come on now. How bad
No,
was that
yeah,
year?
it's not.
All I know is it stars a hot
2019
redhead.
was kind of bad.
Hot redhead. That's all I know. I'm in.
And that's all it
I
takes.
mean, Resident Evil 2
All it
was
takes.
2019 though.
Go
so-
play. What's that? What's the game? The Blood. Not Bloodstorm.
Blood Rain.
Blood Rain. Yes. Isn't she
I was
redheaded?
disappointed in the movie. And yes, she is redhead.
Oh, my chat died. I've got a chat window up and it's died. 1 second, I need to refresh it.
Nice ignoring the topic you picked up. What topic? I didn't ignore nothing.
I missed some
Wiccan
comment.
paganism is more believable and connected to the rhythm of life, nature than any form of Christianity I've encountered. Catholics are the main people that have victimized me. Christianity.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about all that.
Wow.
Haunted Wisp, you should know Haunted Wisp. Sometimes I just say things because it's funny, and it doesn't actually mean anything. People who get offended by what I say don't understand comedy.
Jeez. Flat Earth Gamer jaywalking and getting hit by a car. That sucks, man. I wouldn't want anyone getting hit by a car. I hope he heals up quickly and he isn't too injured.
Isn't that like the third person in the community to get hit by a car? Didn't
Who was the second person? Yeah, he did. Who was the second person?
I don't know. That's why I said like the third person.
Gary.
I have no clue. Also, with that, I think the Portal game, you know, the remaster, because there was, it wasn't actually supposed to be Portal. It was actually supposed to be BioShock that was supposed to get remastered because there was a leak, like the NVIDIA servers or whatever got leaked, and they had 3 games, and one was BioShock and Arkham Knight, and I can't remember what the other game was. But none of it had Portal on it, and all of a sudden Portal is getting remastered. So,
man,
it does not look good. Like, it looks like visually impressive, but you're like, this doesn't look like the original game. Like, artistically, it looks kind of like a generic ray tracing game, right? Like, oh, here we're using ray tracing.
Yeah, I've got a question for Haunted Wisp. Doesn't it massively... This bugs me, and I'm wondering if it bugs you. I really hate how people and media often use pagan as a negative term and, like, trying to draw parallels to pagan as being, like, demonic when paganism was just pre-Christian religions.
Mm.
They gave us Christmas, paganism.
And Halloween.
Mm.
It really bugs me how paganism and the word pagan gets used in a derogatory fashion. It really pisses me off.
Are you a pagan, Bob?
I'm nothing. I'm more of a scientist myself. I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. But I'm more interested in paganism than Western religions and Eastern religions, really.
I'm non-denominational myself.
Right.
Proto alt-right movements from 2000 to 2006. That was a thing. I mean, I don't think we should be talking about this here, but
I was part of
line made me
Gamergate.
curious.
Does that count?
I still never really understood Gamergate. Like, maybe I was like young at the time and I was like watching it and just didn't fucking understand it properly, but
it was real simple. Some dude's girlfriend cheated on him, so he made this real long whiny post about his girlfriend cheating on him. And in the post, he said that one of the dudes that she fucked was a journalist at a gaming website. So then people looked into it and they're like, hey, that journalist was promoting her game, was saying, hey, check out this indie game. It's it's going to be fire, this upcoming game. But he never disclosed the fact that he was fucking her. So they're like, hey, wait a minute, this is unethical. So then all the other journalists got together and were like, "Hey, fuck you, gamers! Why are you being mean to this girl? She's a victim." And that's Gamergate.
Wait, so did Mr. Mediker make a video on that? Was that his like? Okay, because now I'm starting to remember that video.
And then it just kind of blew up from there. Like they would attack gamers, and people would push back and be like, "That's not true," and then they would attack them. And then Mundane Matt did a whole jihadi on people and shit. There's a whole book that basically blames Matt Jarbo, Mundane Matt, for starting Gamergate and making Trump become president.
Bruh.
It's called Crash Override. Read the book.
I'm gonna have to read that book now. That's crazy.
And then, you know, obviously because as all movements do, people started coming in with different ideas and different leanings, and then suddenly the whole movement got hijacked, and it became like fucking like an alt-right, like hate women thing, and then like some people were like, "Well, that doesn't represent us," and then other people were like, "Yeah, fuck them women." Then it became anti-SJW, and it was like a whole thing. But originally it was just like about journalism and ethics.
Yeah, because those labels like Gamergate and Comicsgate and all this stuff sometimes just gets like, what the hell is what, and what's the argument, and this person doesn't like this person even though they agree, and it's weird.
Yeah, it gets very messy. The message and intent often gets muddled and confused and diluted and changed.
Yeah, because like I never really understood where it's like, is Gamergate? I'm not Gamergate. Sorry, like Comicsgate. Is it really just a diversity thing? Because it's like, sure, there's a lot of crap comics, but you can still find good comics. Like I feel like that's happened to every medium. It's like there's gonna be a lot of crap, but then there's usually good stuff.
Well, so what Comicsgate really was certain people were getting pushed out of comic books, and they felt that they were being pushed out because of their leanings, you know, being right-wing, conservative, not agreeing with the SJW shit. So they're like, we're going to make our own comics with blackjack and hookers, right? And then everyone just started throwing money at them. They're like, hey, we can make more money from not actually making comics, just saying we're going to do it and actually doing it.
Oh, again, boy.
And I said this on Max's stream, and I'll say it here, like, if the intent is to make comic books and compete with the big two, with Marvel and DC, right, an actual alternative to Marvel comics and DC, then you have to actually produce comics on a regular pace, right? Like whether it's monthly, weekly. You know, Marvel's pumping out what, like 20 comics every fucking week come out. Like DC's probably got like 20 that come out, even more.
Same.
Right? And you're putting out one fucking comic every 2 years. How the fuck are you competing?
Yeah.
You're just stroking.
Yeah, like that sounds like total. Yeah, that or marketing. I just don't really understand like that part. Yeah, where it's like you can't compete with Marvel, but yet they're trying to, and then they're doing things that people have already done and claimed that it's new.
It's all marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, how is 40,000 sales even in the ballpark of Marvel or DC?
Well, Ripaverse isn't even Comicsgate. He's Comicsgate adjacent.
Oh, right. Which that's even more confusing because his whole channel is the messaging is similar. That's why I'm like, what's like, and then you associate yourself with other people, and then you agree with them, and you're promoting them too. So it's like, you know what I mean? It just gets really confusing where you're like, what am I supposed to like believe, or not even believe, but like what do you want me to do? Like, how do you want me to support you? Right.
Well, you got like Ethan is basically like the guy, right? Ethan Van Sciver. So if he doesn't anoint you Comicsgate, then you're like not Comicsgate. Pretty much.
Because he talks about, because I'm pretty sure he still talks with people in the industry, right?
That's what he says.
I mean, that's what he says, but I mean, it's
believable.
Maybe I kind of believe it, yeah, because he does praise a lot of people that are still putting out DC and Marvel. So that's why I'm like, why do you hate DC and Marvel when, like, he was praising Scott Snyder, and he's like, I talk with Scott Snyder. Well, like, Scott Snyder makes DC Comics still. What, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you hate the whole thing, or do you just hate like some of it?
Well, if you ask him, like certain times it'll sound like he hates the diversity, and sometimes he's just like, no, it's just crappy story. Then it's like they're disrespecting the characters, but like whatever gets you to give them money, that's what they believe.
But
they're just grifters.
I just don't get that his argument, because it's like you should know, like, if something is crap, right? You just don't read it. You just move on. And there's always going to be like, oh, they fucked up this character or whatever, right? Like, everybody knows the comic community. So it's just kind of weird where it's like, okay, if you don't want to make Marvel and DC, then okay, that's been done before, right? That's how Image started. So it's just kind of like weird to me how they're all like, oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna be trendsetters, and I just
so many indie companies and comics come out, especially. Was I don't know if is Image Rob Liefeld and them lot.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, what's the guy who made Spawn? Forget his name. Todd McFarlane. Yeah.
I was thinking
who did Savage Dragon? All those guys.
Yeah, and was Walking Dead was someone else, wasn't it? That wasn't Image.
That wasn't that is Image, but that's a little bit later on. That's Rob Kirkman, right? Rob Kirkman.
Yeah.
I need Invincible. Right.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Image as well.
But that's like later, like Jim Lee and them starting it. That's in the 90s. Well, Robert Kirkman was like early 2000s, mid 2000s. You know,
well,
like that was the time when he came around.
Image fucked themselves up because they're like, every creator owns their own character or whatever, right? Their own comic. So then when they tried to cross them over, there was like everyone was fighting, like, no, my shit's gonna do this way. And it was like, you can't have a universe where everybody's controlling everything independently. And that's like Ripa. He's gonna have his own universe, right? Unless Ripa's writing every single book in the Ripaverse, he's eventually gonna have to give control over to somebody else and allow them to do stuff, right?
I'm surprised he wasn't just like an editor in chief and just get writers for him. Like, I thought he would have done that. That seems more like his MO, the way that he talks.
I haven't watched much of Ripaverse, but from the impression I'm getting, well, I shouldn't say Ripaverse, the guy, whatever his name is, Eric July. But like, from the stuff I'm gathering, like, there's going to be one book, maybe 2 books a year, if that. And before, we're talking like, before it even gets to, like, there's going to be at least 2 books with the Isom in it, because we got Isom Part 1, and then there's going to be a Part 2, assuming. So
well, he said, not to cut you off, Bob, but he just said recently that Isom #1 is more than just an Isom book. It's like introducing the world and the characters in the Ripaverse. So
he's the primary writer. He wrote it. He
claims he wrote it.
He claims he wrote it. He's the driving force. He's the Stan Lee of this universe, essentially, kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
So, like, we're looking at least. I mean, just because there's multiple characters in Isom #1 doesn't mean there's going to be multiple books this year. What I'm trying to say is there's at least going to be a 6-month to longer gap between Isom 1 and 2. And then, are there going to be other books before then?
No.
Are they, like, so this is going to take years to roll out. So,
well, if you look, I was going to do a video on this, but I didn't want to oversaturate the whole Ripa shit on my channel. But if you look at the Ripaverse when it was announced, right? he only got like 1,200 people subscribing to the Ripaverse Reddit, and it was getting like at one point it was like daily polls. Like some dude was like doing daily polls. Some guy who had not in 2 years, right? This guy had, I think it was like 2 or 4 years. This guy's Reddit account had not made any post, right? Then suddenly he started posting all over the Ripaverse daily polls, right? After like a fucking 4-year hiatus from Reddit, he starts posting daily polls on Ripaverse shit, and then slowly but surely that's gone away. Like he stopped. Like, so even like the most enthusiastic fan he had on Reddit is just like, fuck, there's nothing to talk about, right? And I think like the whole thing is just going down, like the whole momentum.
It just feels like he's not that much of a creative force, because it's like if you couldn't make, you know, issue to issue, why not make videos trying to build up the universe, right? Like to promote the product. So then it feels like, okay, at least you're trying to like build out the universe without having the comics, because we know it's like difficult or whatever. But it just feels like an experiment, and not so much like an actual business plan.
I don't understand why the first comic is 96 pages, right? Why not just make 3 30-page floppies and have them come out?
Or split it up
into 3 and be like, we're going to put the first one out, and then like a month later you'll get the second one, and then a month later. So then you, within 3 months, you have 3 books, right?
Yeah. I think it's to do with
how shitty it is, and he knows that as soon as you get it in your hand, that's it. Fucking, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Damn.
he wants to package 3 books into one, or what's an average comic book these days? 24 pages, something like that.
Yeah.
30 pages. So it's 3 books in one. He wants to jack up the price of the one book, sell it to you in one go, so he's got that sale done. And
then why not just make a graphic novel? Too expensive?
well, I think it essentially is a graphic novel, isn't it?
But it like the material
is
is so cheap. Yeah. Like material wise, I wouldn't call that a graphic novel, and he's not marketing it as a graphic novel. It says #1.
And it doesn't have a graphic novel is usually a self-contained story.
Yeah. Well, he wants the opportunity for repeat sales on a second issue, because even if he
just do volume 2 then.
Yeah, but this isn't. He's got 96 pages, but it's not a complete story, because it's like Ripaverse. It's like Isom #1. Then it has like some subtitle part 1. Like,
but I mean, like the way that Marvel and DC sells graphic novels, right? Unless it's a complete story, is they go by volumes.
Yeah.
If it's the same creator, right? So like he could have done that too, right? Just like call it volume 1, give it a subtitle or whatever, and say, oh, there's gonna be more in the future. And
but do graphic novels?
So maybe you are right.
Variant covers?
Not on the cover itself. It's usually inside it.
I think maybe that's why. Maybe he wanted to do like variant covers, so he's calling it a regular book.
Mr. Beefy just answered the question I was going to ask.
What?
Well, OGN, self-contained story,
yes.
Trade equals collection. So essentially,
yeah, trade is a better term.
Yeah, so essentially, the Isom #1 is essentially a trade.
We don't even know.
A trade without singles.
We can't even say. It could be a bunch of stories, right? It could just be all about Isom. We have no fucking clue what's in the book. He literally showed like 4 panels from the interior.
Yeah. But even if it's multiple stories, it would still be a trade, though.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's not a trade because he's marketing it as a single. So yeah. I don't know. His thing is really weird. It is weird.
Yeah, I don't like the vagueness, and I think he's even underselling it in a way, if you know what I mean. I don't think he's promoting it enough, or the content, or promoting it in the right way. It's very generic, the advertising and the story,
prestige
synopsis.
Format. Yeah, maybe.
So I don't even get what it's
Bob, but you can't even say that. Like, if you make the argument that he's not promoting it right, they'll just go, he made $3 million. Have you made $3 million, Bob?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're not gonna do that.
that ain't even. That's besides the point because.
Well, obviously he's marketing it correctly because he made 3 million, right? I can't even argue with that. He made money, so whatever he's doing is making him money. So that is the
True,
correct way to
but
market.
but you can also say
If you
he's
shit
left.
in a box and you could get enough people to give you $3 million for your shit in the box, I think you marketed it pretty well.
Yeah, I guess so. But
I mean, if he put up on his YouTube channel, if he got all of them to do it, you got a lot of fucking money.
yeah,
You
but
get more than he already did.
But I think a majority of his sales has come from his YouTube channel,
Yes.
and the percentage-wise is under 10% conversion rate, which is pretty standard for donations or people wanting a collectible from their favorite YouTuber kind of thing to support the content creator. So to me, it hasn't reached a wider audience. So I don't think the marketing has reached the target audience he wanted, unless he's just trying to grift off his current installed subscriber base.
Well,
I mean, I think it had to.
Well, here's the thing, Bob, and I think a lot of people miss this in the whole Ripaverse discussion. He doesn't want to reach the wider audience. He actually says he wants to gatekeep who buys his book.
Oh my god!
He wants the correct fans. Yeah, he said, "quote unquote." He wants correct fans to buy the book, right? He wants real comic book fans. He doesn't want, if you buy DC, don't buy his book, is what he said. If you buy Marvel, this isn't for you. This is for people who actually like comics, not SJW crybabies.
But if you liked Marvel and DC,
no, if you like it current, if you like the current Marvel DC,
if you like it current,
then obviously this isn't the book for you. Don't buy it.
So that's
isn't that such a weird thing to say, though?
Yeah, but it's a good way to deflect criticism, isn't it? Because he can just instantly say anyone who criticizes it out of his target audience, he can just say, "Oh, it's not for them. They're not the target market."
Yeah, because they're a bunch of weirdos. Remember, anyone who likes current Marvel DC are a bunch of weirdos. So,
And if you're not a real comic book fan, you're not buying ISOM, and you don't want no.
I'm just not interested at all because it's a superhero story. Like, that's really it.
I'm not interested, but I bought it because I was like, if I'm going to criticize and talk about it, I got to fucking buy it.
Yeah.
What weird and wonderful around the house computer and gaming console?
But he also doesn't seem to care all that much. Like, he's like putting it out there, but like he's also kind of like doing it like, well, I feel like I'm obligated to do this. I'm not sure if
I
you agree with
understand what
that.
you're saying. Yeah, I do, because like Bob's saying, and I agree with Bob, like I would think he would be like, here's review copies to some people, even if it's like to favorable YouTube channels. He hasn't even given it to like Gary from Nerdrotic, like, oh, Gary's seen it, right? I seen Vito's book. Vito hasn't even finished fucking printing it, right? And I've read the script of Vito's book, so I can be like, yeah, it fucking sounds good. I like what I read. And he's shown us like some panels. He's like, hey, some sketches, some early drafts. So I've seen more of Vito's book that hasn't even been on sale yet than I've seen of Ripa's book.
Yeah, I've seen more of Vito's book in public, which he's put on his Twitter, like his character synopsis of a couple of the characters and a little bit, and just the little teasers I've seen, it's really intrigued me and piqued my interest. I'm definitely going to be buying a copy of Super Killer because I really like the concept.
Beefy says he's going to end up moving to just reading manga. Comic creators are becoming morons. Again, I think it's there's so many comic books are like video games, right? If you just focus on the AAA mainstream, then yeah, right? But there's so many indies, just fucking.
But I also think that's a problem too with comics, is because the mainstream is just really two publishers. Yeah, and all they do is put out superhero stories. Marvel and DC doesn't put out anything else, which I think is why they're dying, to be honest.
Are they dying? I always hear that. They're always dying. Every year they're dying.
They're like, well, dying as in like they're a vegetable on like life support. Like there's someone is going to eventually have to pull the plug. I don't think Disney is going to pull the plug because they can afford to just have it keep going. But there's been a long consistent rumor that whoever's playing this like hot, potato with Warner Brothers is eventually going to kill off DC Comics because it's just not profitable for them, and they don't really care to continue.
That's what they claim. EBS has been claiming that for like 2 years.
I mean, he's not wrong though. Like if you look into it, I think it is true.
It's hard to tell, right? Because I've tried to look and I have never found any. Maybe you could direct me to it, but I've never found any sales through figures.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so every once in a while you'll get like, oh, they shipped 100,000 to like comic shops, but
it's not even really the sales. It's just sort of like, because like if you look on paper, like the sales are fine. It's not like what it was like 20 years ago, but like they're fine, right? It's more so that, and I think it's just DC, right? It's like they're always doing something where there's like a rumor that comes out and it's true. It turns out to be true, but then like they don't actually end up closing, right? Like the last rumor was that DC was supposed to do this event, and right, everybody was rumored about this. Oh, it's going to be like a jump into the future, and you're going to see other people take on, the mantle of Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, right? And they're trying to test it to see if they can bring in new people with that, and if it fails, then that's going to be like the last event for DC, and AT&T is just going to collapse it and then just sell off, once they're ready to sell off Warner Brothers, they're never going to bring back DC Comics, right? And that never happened. Only the beginning part of the rumor happened.
Well, they can't, because I think in order to hold on to the IP and everything, they still got to make comics. I think
Future Slate.
Yeah,
that was the rumor, the event. So that was just like last year.
Yeah.
But like I said, in order to keep, like, say, Batman, you got to keep making Batman comics, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, I think what will happen, and it's only with DC, is that DC will like ease up on how many ongoing issues comes out, and then eventually, if those set of comics fail, then they'll just end DC Comics. Marvel, I think, will be around, because now at this point, Marvel Comics is just, they use it for the movies.
Yeah.
Like they test ideas in the comics for the movies. DC doesn't really do that because DC Studios doesn't really exist. So
didn't they do like Hispanic Wonder Woman or some shit?
Yes, Mr. Beefy talked about it in the comics.
Yeah, that's why I highlighted his comment that said I like Flora's Wonder Woman.
They canceled her show too. She was supposed to get a show. They just canceled it. Yeah.
I think I don't think DC is going to go away. I think the problem with comic books is in the 90s, you had a big spike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was already on a decline. It spiked up in the 90s. Then it went back down. It has settled back down to where it's supposed to be, right?
Yes.
But I think all these executives are still chasing that 90s high. Like we were up here. Why can't we be back up here? This is where
I disagree. I disagree with that, because what happened in the 90s was it was like a crash, because it was like the speculation market started buying comics.
Right.
So
when before the crash, it was high, right? And I think executives point to that high and go, "This is where we want to be. This is where we were, and this is where we need to be. And we have to get back here." Not realizing that was never that was a fluke, right? Unattainable.
Well, I think Marvel and DC are still even trying to get numbers close to even the 2000s, because like Civil War for Marvel was actually pretty big in terms of sales, and that was the mid 2000s, and they really haven't done something like that on that scale again.
No,
so that's why you always see Secret Wars and Civil War 2 and bringing back all these event names.
Yeah, because they're chasing the high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Bob?
I was just going to say, didn't they kind of write themselves into a corner with Civil War and kind of fuck up? Well, they kind of did, because they had set up the Superhero Registration Act, and then they kind of wanted to backpedal on that. So then they did, was it Dark Avengers after that, and then Battle World and Secret Wars, or whichever one it was.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
And then there was also Secret War, not Wars.
I get so confused with all the naming because it's so.
It is, yeah. It's
because you got
stupid.
the original. Which one was the original Secret Wars with the black suit?
That was like in the 80s.
Yeah. And then you had Secret Invasion, which was the Skrulls, and then you had Secret War.
Yeah, that one is like
Liberia, right?
Something like that. And then there was like the Secret Avengers. I can't remember that one. It's really not even that good to remember. So
there was also Secret Warriors. Like they try to introduce like a new thing of young heroes. That's where Daisy Johnson came from.
Mr. Beefy, I agree. I think Civil War was, some parts were good, other parts were bad, and then it just ended in a way where it was like, we just have to finish this. Because like some characters don't really belong on certain teams. Like what? Like I just don't like the idea of Spider-Man being first on Iron Man's team, and it just feels like a marketing ploy, and it doesn't fit story-wise. Where you're like, why would he do this?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. You know, it goes completely against his character, and it's like, I get it. You want it to have like a big moment, you know, but it just doesn't work for me.
And I might way off the mark, but wouldn't you expect Captain America to be more pro registration and Iron Man to be non-pro?
I think the way that they are in the comics is fine. The way that they are in the movies should be reversed, because I never really understood their positions in the movie. That one just feels like, we got to make the movie, just do it like the comic.
Yeah, well, because in the comic, Captain America has gone against the government several times.
Right.
And he's basically like, because at one point, the president, who was Nixon, was actually part of the secret empire, who was like an evil organization. Captain America had to go kick his ass. And then he quit. Remember, he quit being Captain America, became the captain at one point because he was disillusioned with the U.S. So in that sense, like he doesn't like control. He represents the American ideal, but not necessarily the American country, right? Whereas Iron Man has always been like, wants to lock shit down.
Yes, but that's not how he is in the MCU.
No, in the MCU, he's the reverse. He's like, fuck you, government. I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever I want.
Like, it made more sense for Iron Man and Captain America to be on both sides. Because Captain America doesn't like the government, obviously, because of what happens in the Winter Soldier. But it still doesn't feel like he's at that point to just be like, I'm just going to go completely rogue. Like, I think he's still processing that idea.
Yeah, I just feel the MCU is just a completely different beast to the comics, and a lot of these events they use the name for are just mostly marketing and nowhere close to what the comics are. But obviously, you can't really translate comics close to the cinema.
No, yeah, the way it's done in the comics, definitely not. But like, even just like in terms of story,
fucking storytelling to go by.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the movie though. Like, not even just because it's not a one-to-one. Like, I could care less. It's just, the movie is like completely flawed. Like the whole premise and the villain, how they fight, and then what they're fighting at the ending. It just feels like a mess of a movie.
Yeah,
and people love it. So.
And there were so many missed opportunities, which I would have liked to see come out of the Civil War movie, like the whole I forget what they're called, like the other Winter Soldiers. Like, I thought when I saw the movie first, I was like really intrigued to see these other Winter Soldiers come out, but they just like had Baron Zemo kill them off like off screen before they even had an impact.
There's 6 Winter Soldiers. He's like, they're all dead. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was like a wasted opportunity.
Oh, this is a Mr. Beefy about your Civil War and the She-Hulk thing. That's also another reason why I feel like comics are shit, is because everything has to tie into the major event, and then you're confused as to where do I read what, right? Like, where do I start here? If I'm reading Wolverine, does it connect to Civil War? Do I have to read parts of Civil War or just like the side stuff with Wolverine, including his book? Stuff like that is just a mess. And like Marvel just has like doubled down on it for absolutely no reason. It's completely distracting.
Loki Doki says, was Captain America going against the government to protect the Constitution, or was he trying to protect the Constitution? It depends on which time. Captain America has a very convoluted history because originally he disappeared in World War II, right? And then they just kind of brought him back, and he was fighting the communists. And then he disappeared again, and then they brought him back again. And they're like, oh no, that other Captain America wasn't the real Captain America. He was fucking some other dude, right? Like, this is the real Captain America. And then after he got thawed out from the ice, joined the Avengers, did all that shit. Eventually, the government was like, hey, you work for us. You're fucking in the army. You got to do what we say. And he's like, no, fuck that shit. You know, I'm going to go out there and save people and do whatever I want. And so he just gave up being Captain America.
Didn't I hear something? Apparently, they're trying to say something about Captain America and the Time Stone, and the times he's popped up randomly in these different times is because he was frozen. He got unthawed in the present day, but then like later on, he's traveled back in time.
I don't know nothing about that, Bob, but I know the original explanation was that some guy got a surgery to make his face look like Captain America, and he just started being Captain America, because that's where Nomad comes from, because Nomad was his Bucky,
right?
James Monroe. So that's where he came from, and they got like a fake super soldier serum that made him crazy. So then he started believing he was Captain America, and then he got killed. And then there's a what if. It's the last what if in the original run of What If. It's what if the invaders stay together after World War II. And they basically say that this issue is canon. It's not a what if, even though it's in the What If comic. But basically, yeah, I know.
Stupid ass. So some dumb shit like that.
What?
Just like, oh, this is a what if, but it's actually canon.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god.
Well, because the writers said that they had What If was getting canceled, so they're like, well, we want to tell this story, so like, well, fuck it, we're gonna throw it in the What If. So basically, the Spirit of 76 is a superhero that has super strength, and then the Patriot is another superhero with super strength. The Patriot becomes a new Captain America because Captain America is still gone from World War II. He dies, and then the Spirit of 76 takes over. It's either that way or reversed. One of them dies, and the other one takes over. So basically, they introduced two more Captain Americas in this What If, on top of the other Captain Americas that were already introduced.
Jesus.
So I'm confused. Was Bob was talking about the MCU, right?
I don't know. I think it was the comics is what I was talking about.
He's not frozen in the MCU. He's not really frozen, right? He's like...
Well, no, the way that Bob was saying it, it sounded like there was like the theory of why he shows up at the ending of Endgame, because that confused the fuck out of everybody. And it still doesn't make sense.
No.
Well, I would assume he just got some PIM particles and then just used the machine to like come back to the regular MCU.
Yeah,
well,
but
doesn't it break the continuity of Endgame? Because the way they explain time travel, they're like, you can travel to the past, but it creates a different timeline. So surely he shouldn't have turned up at the end of Endgame, because when he went back into the past, it was a different timeline.
Yes.
Yeah, but he used a wormhole to come over to the original timeline.
What wormhole?
But they never show it though, and that's why it's like really confusing. Because the Russo brothers said, I don't think they said that he's been always there, but they said that he didn't just appear there. Yeah. Well, so then that got people like, well, what does that mean?
People were implying that he was the husband of Peggy Carter that they don't really
Yes.
show. They're implying that was actually Steve Rogers the whole time.
So it was.
So he goes
Which again
back
would
in
be
time.
confusing.
He goes back in time, marries Peggy, but never tells anybody that it's Steve Rogers. Lets all the terrible things happen after World War II.
Well, and also too, Sharon Carter doesn't even recognize him.
Yeah. Well, maybe he got
Yeah.
facial reconstructive surgery. I don't know.
All these
Wait,
loopholes
is
and
Sharon
shit.
Carter Peggy Carter's daughter?
Granddaughter.
Yes, granddaughter. Yeah,
Wait, wasn't Captain America
Banging
kissing
them both.
her.
Yes, he was banging
Yes,
them both.
yes.
Wait,
And he also banged that chick at the USO show.
But wait,
Yeah, if that's her granddaughter,
wouldn't that
and he
technically-
was be his granddaughter.
So he was banging his own granddaughter.
But he didn't
If they
know.
make it canon, that would be hilarious.
He didn't know at the time, right?
Yeah, but still.
Still. Stupid
Shit.
ass.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I am not a fan of Endgame.
Well, if you watch Captain America, Bob, the chick at the USO show is the same chick that plays Star-Lord's mother.
Yes, there's a theory about that too.
That's her granddaughter or some shit too.
Mm.
Captain America's just banging everybody's mom, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Captain America fucks.
He does. I think I was the only asshole that was like, "Hell yeah, Thanos won" at the end of the movie. That was stupid. I hated Infinity War because I hated what they did to Thanos. The whole idea.
I agree.
His whole idea was like, hey, there's too many people in the universe that they're gonna suck up all the resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of using his magical gauntlet to make people
make more resources,
he could have shrunk everybody down to the micro size, and all the resources would have lasted, or made resources infinite, or fucking you don't need to eat, right? Or something.
I love that movie, but that's the only flaw of it. His motivation makes no sense.
Because they wanted to keep the motivation, or they wanted to keep the result from the comic of snapping half the universe, right? But they wanted to get rid of the whole he's in love with death and blah blah blah.
That got rid of death. But
well, you know what's stupid? What's fucking stupid is they tell you he has a planet, right? And what is it? I think it's Infinity War. He shows you his planet, right? He's like, "This is my fucking planet," and it had resources and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And then, so they changed his backstory. But then, in fucking Eternals, at the end of the movie, Harry Styles comes out as his brother, and so now they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Thanos is an Eternal. We forgot to tell you that."
Dude, that Eternals had like two massive holes in it with Thanos. One, is he a robot Eternal? And two, why does Thanos look different from his brother if deviants are not?
Yeah.
You know, they're like the creatures. Very confusing. Gotta love the MCU.
Yeah, I think Eternals. Not only was that a big fucking weird loophole or whatever plot hole, but also the giant fucking celestial just hanging out in the middle of the ocean now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's never mentioned again. It's not like it's just fucking there.
I think they mentioned it in Miss Marvel.
I think in She-Hulk there's a little blurb about like a giant in the ocean or something.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. No.
I think it's in one of the little like newspaper clips or one of the like computer.
Oh,
things.
okay, that makes sense. Mr. Beefy, Eternals is not worth watching.
Oh, I liked it. I think it's worth watching personally.
It's not.
It completely breaks a lot of the MCU and Thanos, and
it's not even just that though. It just feels like there could have been something there that was interesting, but they don't have the time to tell that story. It should have just been on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's what me and Mobius were saying. Like, I would have rather it be like a 6. Like, they needed a couple more hours. It would have been better. It would have been interesting if it'd been a story of these heroes coping with being immortal on Earth while experiencing the different civilizations of humanity and learning to love humanity, etc., and siding with them. And like
Ooh.
you could do each episode as like a different era kind of thing.
The king is back. I'm sick of and tired of Bob.
Oh, what is that? King
Mr.
of all
Buttocks.
buttocks?
King of all buttocks. His return.
No
Yo, where did he go?
way. Dude, welcome back. We missed you.
He just went on break. He went on holiday. Mr. Beefy
Oh.
says Magnus needs to be the next big baddie and continue to push my Warlock comics up in price. Well, Warlock is going to be in the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Final Guardians of the Galaxy.
Magnus was the bad guy in the game for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, spoilers for those of us who haven't finished it.
Yeah, and it was actually a good twist too.
Well, it wasn't really a twist. I mean,
well, it's a fake out though, like the game.
So, but with him being introduced in that, I think there is a good chance that he does somewhere down the line show back up.
Well, isn't Magnus from the future as well? Isn't he a future version of Adam Warlock who's corrupted
No.
and travels back in time? Oh.
No.
Oh.
No. He has a weird, again, because Marvel is like fucking convoluted with everything, right?
Yeah.
The original Magnus was in the Guardians of the Galaxy's future. He's the leader of the Church of Eternal Truth. Right? He's just like this evil dude. But then it turns out that it's like Adam Warlock's alternate self. But then in the present time, when Adam Warlock gets the Infinity Gauntlet, he unconsciously sends out his evil side and his good side. So he's just like neutral. He has like no emotion. And then it turns out that his evil side is Magnus. Because there was the Infinity War and the Infinity Crusade. Because like you have like the big bad was Thanos, and then it was like the evil Adam Warlock, and then like the good Adam Warlock that was gonna like destroy the universe because she's like super good or some shit.
Stupid ass.
Yeah. Well, even the Infinity Stones originally they were called the Soul Gems.
Gems.
And there was only
Yes.
one. There was only one Soul Gem, and that was like. And Thanos actually used the Soul Gem in one of his plots, but then Adam Warlock and then defeated him. And then I guess like years later, they're like, "Hey, let's like fucking invent a whole bunch of other gems." Because Marvel's fucking crazy.
It is.
But I was disappointed in Endgame because the whole time travel shit they shouldn't have even did. They should have never fucking touched time travel.
I was so pissed when they brought in time travel.
The thing that why not just do the multiverse stuff?
They didn't even have to do any of that. They had a very, very simple way to explain everything. All they had to say was that Thanos tried to destroy the Infinity Gems, right? But he couldn't because they're like integral to the universe or some shit, right? So instead of destroying them, he snaps and he sends them to the fucking far reaches of the universe, right? That they can locate them, like Iron Man has located the gems, but they don't have a ship fast enough because by the time they go to fucking find the gem and come back, you know, even traveling at the speed of light is gonna be fucking years, right? So then that's it. Like they're like, we just can't get them. We know where they're at, we can't get them. And then when fucking what's his name comes back, Ant-Man, right? He'd be like, "Oh, I was in the quantum realm," and then fucking Iron Man would be like, "Wait a minute, the quantum realm, we could use that to wormhole across the universe." Same fucking plot, but instead of traveling through time, you're just wormholing through the universe, right? And then you could have the fucking elders of the universe, like in the comics, all have found the gems, and they got to fight those guys, get the gems back, come back to Earth, boom, fight Thanos. You're all good.
But you know why they didn't do that?
Because that's simple. It makes sense.
I think
Nostalgia bait.
I think my rewrite of Endgame was the best one. Obviously. Like I don't see why Thanos needed to destroy the Infinity Gems. What I would have done is I would have like had Thanos retire so he could still go to his planet, but then he could form a dark Infinity Watch to watch over the Infinity Gems, and then you just have an ensemble movie of the heroes battling all these new, like, dark Infinity Watch holders of the gems, and it could be quite interesting.
I just think instead of time travel, just swap it out with multiverses. That's all you needed.
Anything but time travel. Time travel is just such a cop-out.
Yeah.
The
Also,
multiverses would have been simple. It would have been
yeah,
you
that
explain
would've
it
been simple.
quickly. Yeah, it's just different universes. It's like,
but
okay,
the-
that makes
but
sense.
the Infinity Gems only work in the universe that they come from.
Well, you didn't even need to have that. Because then you could have easily had like give some hints of the TVA. It could have all set up what's happening in the next couple of phases. And then you'd have been like, oh, okay, now I know the rules of the multiverse, instead of being like, there was a timeline and now the timeline's scrapped because the one above all, or whatever his name is, Kang,
He who
right?
remains.
He who remains, yeah, right. He's dead, so then there's no timeline anymore. Like, all that is just too confusing. Right. And especially what he said recently, where it was like, oh, because of what happened in Loki, the timeline right now is actually messed up. It wasn't actually supposed to happen. So the events of something like in No Way Home is actually a different timeline than what was originally going to happen. Like, that's just too confusing. Like, holy shit. Like, so what originally was supposed to happen? You know what I mean? It's all over the place.
The other thing that pissed me off about Endgame is you had a 5-year time gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have introduced so many fucking heroes.
Yes.
Say, look, all the heroes disappeared, right? So other people stepped up,
Yeah.
right? So you could have, like, at the end, like when they did the little like scene where they're talking to Captain Marvel and all them, right? On the little fucking like holograms, they could have hologrammed like 6 or 7 new people. Like, oh shit, fucking look, it's Moon Knight. Look, it's fucking this guy, right?
Yeah, that would have been sick. That would have been sick.
And then you could have went back and had shows and movies like set within the 5-year gap, and like, oh, this is how Moon Knight came to be. This is why fucking he's working with the Avengers. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah, there was an early rumor that Shang-Chi was supposed to take place in those 5 years. So disappointed that it didn't.
It just sounds to me like, as much as Kevin Feige and whoever likes to portray they've got this big grandiose plan with the MCU and they plan it out X amount of years or phases ahead, is utter nonsense, and they're just
it's bullshit.
Oh, it was. If you look at
It's
the original
100%
MCU,
bullshit.
it's 100 because the fucking the Tesseract was the cosmic cube originally.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with the Infinity Gems, and the same thing with Loki's staff. That was never a fucking Infinity Gem. That was a fan theory, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's a good idea. Let's just fucking go with that."
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanos is just gonna hand him this thing. He's not gonna tell him that it's a fucking Infinity Gem, right? It's like, here's a magical staff. Trust me, it's awesome. Just don't let it fall into anybody's hands. Just why wouldn't he just use? Why wouldn't Thanos just use the fucking Mind Stone on everyone on Earth, and then fucking get the fucking thing, right? Get the Tesseract.
Yeah, but also, Mr. Beefy, you're right. I think. Okay, they needed to make him fall in love with death, but this is the part where they messed up. And this is the part where I'm like, the MCU is not connected. Okay, they introduce him in Avengers and then do nothing with him for the next 6 years.
He just hangs out.
He just hangs around.
He was sort of in Guardians of the Galaxy.
But like he was just like, yeah, go get this shit for me. It was like, you could have set up stuff. Maybe him with death. Like they were acting like, oh, we didn't have time to do death. It's like, yes, you did.
No, I heard that they said that the general audience wouldn't understand it, the idea of death being a person. So they were just like, fuck it, don't do it.
Bullshit.
I don't believe it. Not
bullshit.
that I don't believe it, but it's stupid.
I agree, it's stupid. What again, if it was up to me, what I would have done was you introduce Thanos, right? And then in the other movies, every post-credit scene is showing Thanos getting the gems. Like, oh shit, he just fucking beat the gardener. Oh shit, he just beat this guy. Like, look how badass
That's what I said. That's my idea.
Because then, like, what the general audience has no idea, right? They're like, it's Thanos. Okay, but why do I care, right? So show them like how badass he is in the other movies, the little post-credit scenes, and then they'll be like, oh fuck, I'm excited. But again, Infinity War made so much fucking money. What do I know about marketing, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't even think it's just that. It was going to sell regardless. That's why it's infuriating. Because it's like, you guys, it would have been successful anyway. Like, like, you're already so deep into it, just do whatever, right? And if it like, something fails, then pull back. So, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't even think they should pull back. I think that's one of the strengths of the MCU is even when a movie didn't do so well, they just kept going forward. Like DC's like, oh shit, this movie didn't make $1 billion. Fucking cancel it. Cancel the DCU. Fucking.
Well, with one exception.
What's that?
Thor.
Well, they didn't. I don't know if they had any plan for Thor 3 prior.
I think Thor 3 could have been way better than what we got.
I thought it was good already. I know you don't like fucking Taiki Waititi fucking.
Yeah. I just
Well, I hate that they just blew the Planet Hulk storyline on
that
Ragnarok
too
without dedicating its own movie to it or making a bigger deal about it.
Yeah, that was dumb. I agree with that.
But like Thor Ragnarok, the way that they set it up, it was supposed to be like this epic end of trilogy, like Lord of the Rings, and it's gonna be badass. And he's gonna fight what's his name, Surface or whatever. Oh man, yeah, right. And it's just sort of like all subverted, and it's all just like, oh, now he's a space Viking, more closer to what he is in the comics. And it's like, but this is the end of a trilogy. What are you doing? It just feels so messy. It's like they really didn't care. It's like, fuck it. No one cares about this character anyway.
Yeah, well, Thor 2 sucked. I mean,
It did.
If they wouldn't have made Thor 2 so fucking bad, right? Then maybe Thor 3 wouldn't have had it gone in that direction.
Well, I know this is going back a couple of talking points, but do we even know if Thanos was originally intended for even the first Avengers game? Avengers movie? Because you had Loki. Maybe they felt that Loki wasn't a strong enough protagonist on his own, and they...
I don't think so. I think Loki is a villain of the first, like, when the Avengers debuted.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Loki is the reason that the Avengers and the comic came together.
Yeah. Thanos is like way, way later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Thanos was teased just for like, look, guys, we got something big brewing, so fucking keep coming into the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up on the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor was...
Thor 2 it should have bbeen better, right? Thor 1 wasn't that bad, but Thor 2 sucked.
Well, I couldn't watch
Thor 2 was...
Thor movies.
And they massacred Malekith.
Yeah, I didn't like how they killed off the Warriors 3 and Thor Ragnarok. Like, here's these 3 badass warriors, and they're all dead.
And I hate how they just, like, underplay Sif. Like, such a waste of a character. Even in this, Love... what's the movie called? Jesus.
You're pulling to me now.
I'm like, what is this movie called?
Can I just interrupt for a second?
Oh shit,
Sure.
Ninja Kitty's here. I forgot.
Sorry, I fell asleep at your boring comic talk, but
Oh man.
the blinded. Are you becoming a frog now? Because I heard a lot of lip smacking going on right there.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm turning into Tony.
Contagious.
Can you guys remind me which one is Thor 2? Because I get them all confused. What happened?
Dark World.
Did Taiki, whatever his name, do that one also?
No, this is 2013.
And the last one just came out as the 4th one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought the second one wasn't that bad.
Mm.
Third one was really bad. 4th one I haven't watched yet.
You if you hated the 3rd one, you're gonna hate this one, the 4th one.
How did you like the second one? The second one was so boring.
I'm confused too. Yeah.
How? Because it's mindless entertainment, like all the MCU movies.
But it wasn't mindless. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
it
there was so
wasn't.
much fucking talking and. It
The one with
reminded
the
me of
dark elf
fucking,
people.
Yeah.
I think I tried watching the first Thor movie, and I think I got about 15 minutes in, and I just couldn't handle the stupid accents all the actors were putting on. And it was just like, I can't cope with this. This is too much for me. Fuck this.
I don't
I
blame
think
you.
the Thor movies needed more Kat Dennings. That's what it needed.
Yeah.
No, less of her.
Yeah.
Unless it's like nude.
I like Kat Dennings.
She's a good comic, but like in the Thor movies,
She acts?
no. Yeah, she acts.
Haven't you seen Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist? She's fucking great in that.
Bruh. I'm confused how Ninja Kitty liked the second one.
I didn't say I
I've
liked
never
it,
really.
but it wasn't that bad. There's a difference between
okay.
liking.
Okay.
I hate
Wasn't
most comic
that
book
bad.
movies. But some are
Okay,
guilty
that's fair.
pleasures. Some are guilty pleasures.
Like Green Lantern?
No.
Green
Like which
Lantern
ones?
is terrible.
No, it's an
It's
underrated
awful.
game.
It's terrible.
Oh no.
I think it's yet to get the recognition it deserves.
It's getting recognition from the Snyder fans.
They like it now?
Yeah, they want Ryan Reynolds back.
Oh.
Yeah, because that was the rumor. Actually, it wasn't the rumor. I think that's what it was supposed to. He was supposed to appear at the ending,
Well, did you
and they
hear
couldn't. They couldn't actually get him.
the Snyder fans are pissed at Henry Cavill now?
Why?
Why?
Because
I didn't hear this.
The rumor is that in the new Black Adam movie, that he's going to show up in the red and blue suit and not the black Snyder suit.
Oh boy.
So now they're pissed.
What?
These people say that they're DC fans. They're not.
But wait, is Henry Cavill confirmed for Black Adam now?
No, that's the rumor.
All but confirmed.
The rumor
I
is
think
that
he's
gonna
going to
show
be
up.
in it. Yeah.
I think he might. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I think it's pretty much he
Is
is.
he going to be in Black Adam or like actually? Or I don't think it's
He
gonna
a post
happen.
credit.
He's going to be in it like he was in Shazam. Innit?
No, he's going to be in it.
No.
Like, actually,
They're going to show his face, Bob.
Okay.
They're going to show him. Yeah.
That's the rumor.
Snyderverse lives.
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
rumor
so-
at least.
If you've seen the latest trailer, or there was, I don't know if it was a trailer or a TV spot.
Yeah,
But
I saw
basically-
something, and then the intro it showed like the
Hold
main
on,
heroes.
hold on, Bob. Basically, what Black Adam's looking towards somebody, right? And he goes, "Nobody on this planet can stop me," right? The rumor is
I don't think that's the scene.
that's what I heard. The rumor is that after he says that, then it's going to pan over to Henry Cavill, and he's going to say, "Well, luckily, I'm not from this planet." That's going to be the old shit moment, like, "Oh shit, Superman!" But that he's
'Cause
going to be
the-
wearing the red and blue costume, not the black Snyder costume, the red and blue.
I mean that scene does sound better than the other one where it was supposed to be with Amanda Waller, and the dialogue was cringe as fuck. Where he was like, "I'm coming to take you down,"
Yeah.
and then she's like, "Bet." What's up? The fuck? Bet. Bet on it. Like, what the fuck? And then he shows up behind her. I was like, oh god, please
So-
no.
That's the latest rumor for the Black Adam movie.
I haven't heard that one, but
Warner Brothers just will do anything to get people on seats, and if they can appeal to the Snyderverse fans. In any
No,
which
well, the
way they can.
Snyderverse
No.
fans are pissed. Bob.
Actu-
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
no. Well,
Yeah, but they'll go to see Henry Cavill, and
No, they won't. They're very upset. They said, "Fuck Henry
Yeah.
Cavill. If he's not going to wear the Snyder suit, then we don't want him. We'll get someone else."
but was it okay?
Yes.
Weren't they just happy though? Did you see what happened earlier this week with the trailer?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Earlier this week, they were happy, and then when the red and blue stuff came out, they're like, "No, fuck him, fuck Henry."
But they were happy for that trailer thing was one of the dumbest thing I've ever seen, where he took down the trailer and edited out a 2-second clip just to satisfy them.
Yeah.
Yes. That's some crazy shit. Like,
Beefy says
they freaked out.
Screw hell, I want a Jon Stewart movie. I was pissed. They had fucking in the Arrowverse, right? At the very end of the last episode of Arrow, they had a fucking Green Lantern ring drop to Earth, and fucking John Diggle Stewart finds the ring, right? And you're like, oh shit, he's gonna be fucking, because they hinted that he was John Stewart, because they're like
for years,
and then his like his stepdad showed up and it was like Sergeant Stewart. They're like, oh shit, Stewart's like his fucking stepdad's name. It's not like, so it's technically his name, right? Because he married the mom, but Diggle's just like the father's name, right? So then he went around in the after the Arrowverse, after Arrow ended, he went around in like Supergirl, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, and the Flash, right? In those four, he was like trying to figure out what the ring was and what's in the box and how to open it. And finally, in fucking Flash, he talks to Reverse Flash, and he's like, "Oh, I know what that is. That's the fucking power ring from Oa and blah blah blah." And he tells him how to open it, and he opens the fucking box, and the ring basically shows him like 1,000 different futures or how his life could be. And he's like, "Well, in all those futures, I don't get to be with my wife, so I don't want to be Green Lantern." And he just throws her, and that's it.
No.
Oh.
So they teased it for fucking years, multiple shows. Finally, show you the ring. He opens the box and he's like, "Meh, I want to be with my wife."
For fuck's sake.
Oh God.
Jon Stewart was always one of my favorite Green Lanterns. I much preferred him to Hal Jordan. Because he was a bit more stoic and a bit more, I don't know, seemed a bit more on it.
What's your, I don't know if you care, but what's your thoughts on Constantine 2?
I like the original, but there was a TV series not that long ago, Constantine, which I've never managed to watch. I've watched about 20 minutes of the first episode and I'm like falling asleep.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay.
He was pretty good on Legends of Tomorrow. Because it's the same guy, right?
I don't know.
Yes, it's the same guy. Yes.
Yes. So he was pretty good on that. I don't see why the movie was kind of boring.
I actually watched it recently. It's not that bad. I was surprised because I've never seen it before.
Because my ex-wife was like, "Oh, this looks like an awesome movie. Let's go see it." I'm like, "All right, whatever." And it turned out to be like fucking Shia LaBeouf like ruined that movie. I think that's what. It was.
Totally. Fuck.
But he's barely in the movie though.
Yeah, but that little bit, like it just drags. Like, oh shit, fucking Shia's in.
And you know what? That movie has a post-credit scene. Yeah. I did not know that.
Oh, what happens in it?
It's just confirmed that Shia LaBeouf was actually an angel.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was an angel. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Added so much to the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see Constantine 2, but
I just hope he doesn't look like John Wick. That's my only thing.
He's gonna. That's all. That's Keanu's biggest thing. He's gonna be a older, grizzled, harder Constantine.
Hell no. He's gonna have a robot arm. He's gonna look like the dude from fucking Cyberpunk.
No.
Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah.
By the way, he ruined that game. Sorry.
Why did Keanu ruin that game?
Because Johnny Silverhand is not like a main character. Like he's a main character in the Cyberpunk lore, but like he's not that important. Like I'm surprised they made an AI or whatever out of him. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Constantine on Legends of Tomorrow was great. He kind of got a little stupid when he was like falling in love. Like everybody on that show had to be like fucking boning somebody. Like nobody could just be single. Like, oh shit, there's a woman now. Someone's gotta fuck her.
They took him off that show because they were trying to make a new movie, so they just removed his character.
Is that why they did that? They also made him
and then
gay on the show.
I don't know about that, but the actor, because he had to stay, like his contract was still in place, right? So he just played a different character.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
He played like fucking some German.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why.
But on the show, they basically tell you that Constantine's like he's willing to fuck anything.
That's not Constantine. He's got a thing for Zatanna.
Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't on the show. So he was like at one point he fucked Sarah, the main chick. Then he was like fucking that like Arabian chick. Then he was fucking some other chick. Then they implied that he was like had a thing with like a dude. I'm telling you, like they would just bring a character in. As soon as they brought a female character, they're like, okay, she's got to hook up with one of the legends.
Great. I think Constantine's like massively underrated. He's like way OP.
He is.
Stupidly. He's got like demon's blood and all sorts of abilities and powers and spells and shit.
I'm the Incredible Hulk. I spit when I talk. I fuck anything that walks. What are you talking about?
What the fuck was that line?
Tommy O dropping bars.
God damn. It's an Eminem lyric.
Is it?
From what song? Some crazy ass bar.
I haven't fucking listened to Eminem
since he was relevant.
Damn. Oh, you know what you should watch, Bob? Him and Snoop Dogg have a NFT.
Oh no! I've seen clips. Have an
NFT cringe. What?
It's like a music video with their
it was for the MTV Awards or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Shit.
It was for an award show. They did an exclusive video of him and Snoop Dogg, and they morph into their Bored Ape Club NFTs. It's fucking the most cringe thing I've ever seen.
You okay there, man?
It's beyond cringe. It's I'm not okay because it's permanently burnt into my fucking retinas. I see it when I sleep.
Well,
that's how fucking bad it was.
Well, that's what your age group is into, so.
No,
Ooh.
I don't think anybody's into this. I don't think anybody's into this shit.
Haven't NFTs kind of died now? Like they're dead as far as I know.
I think kind of like on Twitter, like if you post anything, like a celebrity posts something about NFTs, just go through that comments. Tommy they get dragged.
It's from My Name Is. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I don't remember that lyric. Maybe I'm just used to hearing the radio edit. I think Tommy's lying to me.
Yeah, he says it's a non-radio version. There was no self-awareness when they made that stupid Bored Ape shit.
No. I thought Eminem, well, no. I was going to say I thought Eminem was smarter than that, but then, like, he's a complete maniac sometimes. Like, you've heard about the witch and shit.
The who?
The witch.
Yeah, I haven't. What is this?
No.
I think he had a bad trip or something, and, like, there's a witch who haunts him or something. I don't know the whole story. But it was just so bonkers. Like, he was having, like, a breakdown at the time or some shit because of too much drugs or whatever. And he got all paranoid about a witch.
Didn't he make, like, an anti-Trump rap or something?
An anti-what?
Anti-Trump?
Kind of.
It was, like, at the MTV Movie Awards, too. It was like freestyle. Like,
yeah, it was really... It was weird. It was weird.
Tommy
Even the
O
way he
probably
looked in that.
Yeah. Tommy O probably knows more about The Witch or what I'm talking about than I do.
Was there a wardrobe? What?
Ha ha. Funny.
What else was there?
Well, there was Seth Green and his NFT, which got stolen off him,
Oh yeah.
and then he kicked off about it, and like he was trying to like he was like trying to petition or something to get an
To get it regulated.
Mhm. Yeah.
which is supposed to be an unregulated market, and then he ended up just paying the ransom anyway. He just paid the ransom of like $300,000
But you know why he cared so much about it, right?
because it was tied up with a TV show he's producing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, well, if you
Well,
just
how was
paid-
it tied up to the TV? I don't understand. You have to explain this.
I don't even understand
it. But it's like if he'd paid an artist and hired an artist to design something for his TV show, he would have had more legal and better protections than buying an NFT which is allegedly on the blockchain and safe.
Okay, so Tommy O says it's actually clothes ripped like the Incredible Hulk. I spit when I talk. I'll fuck anything that walks.
That sounds like a Gary lyric.
It does. I don't understand why dude didn't just get a new NFT. Like, why did he need that specific NFT?
I think it was already in production or something, or it was like the specific characteristics of the NFT he wanted. And then people were like questioning, like, because the NFTs have different expressions and stuff, they were like, well, how can you make a cartoon about it? Because if the character has different expressions, that's going to be similar to other NFTs which other people have bought. So
That's confusing.
yeah, it's all
NFTs
very
are
fucking
stupid.
confusing. They are very stupid.
It
They're
is.
just a way, they're just a way for people to cash out their Bitcoin they can't get rid of.
Yeah.
That's literally the only like, it's on The Line Goes Up, it's explained much better, but that's pretty much the long and short of why NFTs came about, because the people couldn't liquidate all their Bitcoin they had, so they created a new market for something else they could sell to gullible people like Seth Green and Eminem.
Oh,
and
God.
Snoop Dogg.
And Keanu. He loves
No,
NFTs.
not Keanu.
Yeah. He's big
Well,
on it.
So is Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith's made his own NFTs.
Oh man.
But
He
kinda
looks
not
like a bored
surprised-
ape.
Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised Kevin Smith getting involved with NFTs, though. He's a bit of a whore.
We call him.
Yeah, he'll
Wayne.
do anything.
Call him
He'll
I have a
do
question.
anything, man.
I have a movie-related question to ask Blinded. Did you watch Clerks 3? Because I have not watched it yet, so I don't know.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I heard it was good. Or just okay.
What was it?
Clerks 3.
Yeah, I was hyped about Clerks 3 until I heard it was until I saw the trailer, and it's like a meta story about the making
Mhm.
of Clerks 1, and at that point I was just like completely checked out from it. I was like, why? I don't want to.
Did that one guy die in like the first Clerks or something?
That was the alternate ending.
The
Mhm.
alternate ending, yeah.
Yeah, Dante was originally going to get shot.
Was it Dante or that was the other guy? No,
No, it was
Dante.
Dante,
Oh.
not Randall. And like on the Clerks X, the 10-year anniversary, it included the alternate ending as a special feature.
I don't think I've ever seen Clerks.
It's funny.
It's good. It's a student.
I don't
film.
think it. Yeah, it's a student film. That's the best way to put it.
Chuck says he styled his fashion after Kevin Smith. Awesome.
Who did?
Chuck.
Chuck.
Oh,
So he wears an Edmonton Oilers jersey.
I don't know. That Chuck guy sounds like he's kind of devastating. I'm sure he has a just cause. So.
I might check it out though, just to see it.
I was
Yeah,
burned
I'm gonna-
badly when I watched Jay and Silent Bob 2. Of how
Oof.
bad that was. So I I really skeptical of anything.
Yeah,
If you're skeptical, I would say don't watch it.
Yeah, Jet and Silent Bob reboot was okay,
It was awful.
but
Mhm.
as a stoner, I appreciated the stoner humor, but I thought we went a bit too far. And then, like, the ending was a complete cop out. That pissed me off so much. Just the fact
I
that
don't think Kevin Smith can put out a good movie anymore.
well, did he ever put out a good movie?
Mm.
What
put
Jay
out
and
an
Silent
That's
Bob movie are
debatable.
we talking about?
Sorry,
Say
What
it
Jay
again?
and Silent Bob movie were you talking about?
The sequel.
The
Jay and Silent
sequel.
Bob reboot.
Was that last year? When was that?
I haven't seen
Uh,
that
A
one.
couple
I
years
think
ago.
2020. I think.
Was it? Oh, 20. Oh, Jesus. Oof.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I definitely didn't see
It was
that.
terrible. The first one at least had good potty humor and like it was funny.
It had a monkey.
It had all these cameos in it.
It had a lot of funny moments.
Oh fuck! Tusk is getting a sequel after
Oh.
all these years.
Yes,
movie
I
was
did hear that. Oh,
Stupid. Wasn't that like just to launch the career of like his daughter or some shit?
Well, she's
Which-
featured in Jay and Silent Bob 2 a lot.
No, that's Jason
Oh.
Mewes' daughter.
what's the movie with his
No,
daughter
that's his
starring?
daughter.
It's his daughter.
Sorry, my bad.
Hosers, something Hosers.
Hosers. Yeah, that was terrible. Ooh,
That was
bad,
supposed to be
terrible
like a
movie.
whole universe or some shit, right? Wasn't it like that movie, Tusk, and then like another one? We're gonna be like a
Yeah,
team?
there was something. It's awful. Ugh. God damn.
Shudder.
fucking Canadians.
It's like
What?
Kevin Smith is like Howard Stern. What? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy.
Back in
saying
the
he's a
90s, that
blast
was
from the
great
past.
because you never heard people cussing or talking sex. What? What movies were Tommy watching in the 90s?
I think Tommy still thinks he's in the 80s and 90s. He's high as fuck right now.
Poor Tommy.
Are we talking about Tommy Uyumiko or Tallarico?
Either one.
No, Uyumiko.
Oh, wait,
Either
'cause
one.
Tommy
Maybe
Tallarico
both. Why
was
not
still
both?
stuck in the 80s.
So how did you even find that listing, Ninja Kitty?
That listing?
Yeah.
I found the listing because some random YouTube channel, or not YouTube, Twitter, with like 100 followers said, hey, there's a vintage SNES, what do you call it, dev kit thing featuring the maker of Earthworm Jim, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, excuse me?
Oh,
And
Just
I
some
clicked on-
random Twitter user fucking
Well,
outed him.
no, someone retweeted it. I can't remember who. It wasn't like someone who makes Amico videos or anything.
MVG.
And then I saw it like within half hour, it started to like people started noticing. Mostly, I guess it's people in Europe because it was late at night. So MVG and Audie from Digital Foundry were making fun of Tommy. I can't remember what Audie said. Like he said something funny about how something about Shiggy, his best friend, wouldn't like him having stealing stuff or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And
Fucking
then I'm
Shiggy.
like, click on this thing. I'm like, God damn, that's his. That's for sure his. And then I look on the auction, and I'm like, the other items in the auction look awfully familiar. I didn't realize it was all his when I first saw it. And
Well, I'm not 100% that it's all his.
well, yeah, it's most likely
Mhm.
because I went through his house tour videos, and there's things like Haunted Mansion, Disneyland ride stuff, and he shows in one of his videos like one of the paintings from the Haunted Mansion because he was a big collector of that. And then you see on the auction there's like 20 or maybe not 20, like 10 items from the Haunted Mansion, and there's some stuff you can see in the tour videos in the background, but it's really hard because it's almost like playing Where's Waldo because his house is so hoarded. So if you look in the background of like any shot of like him walk around his house, there's like at any time there's like 200 figurines, so it's kind of hard to compare.
Mm.
What I did find funny though is even after everyone found the matching dents and everything, there's still a few people are like, well, that's not his. I'm like, seriously, like yes, this guy coincidentally has the 30 rare items on auction at the same time, and this guy Tommy has them at his house. All because of Tony's fault.
Bruh.
What I do now?
It's because you exist, and people are all like, "Oh, Tony never tells the truth. He has fake accents and blah blah blah." And so unless you have someone telling you 100% it's accurate or 100% it's his, then they'll never believe it.
Haven't you already fought that boss in this game, Tony?
Yeah, there's not a lot of bosses in this game. There's a lot of backtracking, Bob.
Seems exciting and exhilarating.
Oof.
Oof, indeed. What I'm wanting to know is why Gary popped up in the chat, said "yo," and then never came on.
Maybe it wasn't him.
It was him. He had the wrench.
He said on Twitter, he's like, "I'm gonna be a little bit late, but I'm gonna be there."
He meant to say, "I'm going to be a little bit late," as in, I'm not coming on the show.
No, he's actively on Steam writing fake reviews for the new Shovel Knight. Just to show, like, nope, see, you're wrong.
I thought you were gonna say he was on there writing reviews for the Steam Deck and like, fucking Nintendo Switch is better. Why are you playing Steam Deck?
Well, he's also doing that. He's rapidly making multiple new email addresses and accounts for Steam.
Damn that Jerry.
I'm feeling like shitting on Sonic. I see Sonic.
That's so easy to do, though.
Like the new game?
Yeah, the new game. I'm itching. I want it to be so bad.
I heard it was
so
getting
like
good
I could prove
reviews
it
or something.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Because I heard people were saying it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, those
no.
are probably Sonic fanboys.
Previews. They're probably like previews.
Yeah.
Who said this? I want to see some of this.
I forget who I was talking to.
Was his name Marceau?
No, because someone else was saying that they were worried about Sonic, and they're like, "Oh, I heard it was getting good." Fucking.
That sounds like Dreamcast guy.
Headline: Sonic Frontiers early hands-on impressions. Oh no, Sonic shows promise, but this new Frontier feels like 2006.
Ooh.
Oof.
Well, there you go. Those are some reviews. For a Sonic game, those are great.
Sonic Frontiers hands-on impressions. It's actually decent from Forbes.
See, look, it's actually.
I don't believe that.
You don't trust Forbes.
Forbes, exactly. Exactly.
Are you saying Forbes is lying?
No.
Always.
Never.
It's not. Basically, anyone can write for Forbes now.
You guys just don't trust journalists. You don't know how it is.
Where are these impressions? I'm not seeing that.
I just googled Sonic Frontier.
Oh, you googled it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just heard. I don't know if it was on Max's stream or if it was on Vito's, but someone was like, "Yeah, I heard good things about Sonic." I was like, "Oh."
I hear good things about.
I'm not going to
Sonic,
trust it.
I'm a trusting soul, unlike Blinded. If people tell me they heard good things, I immediately 100% agree. That's what we said.
I hear good things about
reason
Sonic.
The reason why I don't trust it is because I think it was in a controlled environment.
Apparently, his name was Robert Paulson. Robert Paulson said good things about Sonic. See, thank you, Evil. I knew someone would know.
And then he gets shot in the head after that.
Possibly. I heard he was trying to cause trouble at like a bank or something. He was destroying a monument.
Credit card companies.
Yeah.
With Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Edward Norton was there too.
Were they? Are you sure?
I hear Edward Norton's the new voice for Sonic.
Oh God.
They should just bring back Jaleel White. Jaleel White is the voice of Sonic. And he should
Swear to
always
God,
be
if-
eating chili dogs. Sonic should always have a chili dog in his hand.
This Sonic
No,
game
no,
is
no.
not dog shit, man. I'm gonna start a riot. I'm gonna go to fuck, man. I just want it to be bad.
It's gonna be bad. Don't worry. Don't
I
worry.
heard Sammy Sonic fans said it was good.
Is that kid still around? I mean, he's not a kid now, but that would be hilarious.
Like, you fucking ruined it.
Sonic fans are disturbed.
Retarded.
Yeah. I mean, we're not supposed to use that word, but yeah.
What word?
Well, no, we're allowed to use it now.
I said crazy. I don't know what other word you use.
What word did you use, Bob?
Retarded.
Retarded.
We call it Canadian Gamer.
Oh,
Canadian
right, yeah.
gamer.
They have Master System Marceau.
Hey Tony,
What's up?
Canadian Gamer posted about me on Twitter.
Oh shit! I
Oh,
wouldn't know
boy.
because he has me blocked. So.
He has me blocked too. I took a peek.
Ooh.
Guys,
No, I
really-
want to see this.
I
Stalking.
can. Let me see what he said. It's something about me being a lunatic and obsessed with Tommy Tallarico because they made one video in 5 months.
He's not wrong.
You never go full Canadian gamer.
Let me see. I got his Twitter right now.
Now you're obsessed with him, stalking him. I thought we're not doing
He's
this
got a
bullshit.
picture of somebody in a
He
straitjacket. He says he would be locked up in a padded room.
Says
Yeah.
hopefully
What?
Tommy Tallarico puts a restraining order on an obsessed lunatic. Good lord.
Good
And the-
lord.
And the funny part is, he has my recent videos 2 days ago, 2 months ago, something different, and 4 months ago.
two
is a lot.
months ago. Don't try to downplay it. 2 months ago was Ricky Berwick gets his Intellivision Amico,
Yeah, it's not Tommy Tallarico though.
and then 4 months ago it was Smash JT has transformed into Tommy Tellerico. See, it's all
Bruh.
about Tommy. You're obsessed.
Meanwhile-
and then Relic says you're a special kind of person there. And then he says, yeah, the kind you would typically find locked up in a padded room wearing a straitjacket. And he put a gif of somebody that looks like Pat Contry in a straitjacket. It's kind of weird.
I wish Tommy would.
PK said, imagine still making videos about Tommy Tellerico
Yeah.
in September of 2022. Talk about scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I replied to him.
What'd you say?
Well, didn't you see the reply? I said, I don't understand how a rare SNES dev kit being sold next month is bottom of the barrel and weird to make a video about as compared to your last video, because he's saying it's like who's still making videos in 2022 of Tommy Tallarico. His last video is about a Wii U. And I said also, I said CJ stalking my channel equals him being obsessed and jealous.
That was you popping back in blinded?
No
No.
one cares about Tommy Tallarico. He's beyond irrelevant. I mean,
Oh, it was me.
It's not a video
Weird.
comment section. This is on Twitter. It's on Twitter.
So yes, it's funny stuff. I find it funny.
Now my profile's gone.
Yeah, because
Oh,
you
well.
left and you pop back in. Oh,
I didn't even-
Megadan29 says, I wish Tommy would go crazy and find these people. Their reactions would be hilarious if shit got real. You'd be so scared if Tommy came to your house, Ninja Kitty. Oh, he also said,
all 5
Megadan-
foot of him.
Megadan is a
Megadan also said, let's keep it real. At this point, they are effing harassing him. Hashtag go kick their ass. He didn't even put their wrong. He spelled their wrong. He spelled it T-H-E-R-E. Go kick their ass, Tommy. That's what he hashtagged. You better watch out.
Megadan is this
Why
is
is
the
it-
crop year.
Oh, why is it all threats? Like, why is it all violence and shit?
Because
What's he doing,
Tommy deserves fucking retribution against these people. All you people making videos on Tommy, you're gonna get your ass whipped. Tommy knows kung fu. He trained with Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is a good personal friend of his.
These guys are hilarious.
Megadan, what's his username? Megadan what?
29.
I don't know if he's shadow blocked me or something.
All right, so we got this other comment, which is fucking great. It says, this is from Master System Marcel, right? It says, when I started talking to these people, I could have never imagined they were obsessed like this. But yeah, they're mentally challenged. And then PK in the universe. This is the greatest response. He says, notice all his videos are about what other people are doing rather than about video games. Video games are just a backdrop. It reveals exactly what kind of person he is.
Is he talking about Canadian game? Who is he talking about?
Talking about you. You're a bad, bad man.
Because you're not talking about video games.
Because you're not talking about the Wii U and like what Amico games should be on the Evercade.
I seem to remember Canadian Gamer posting, I don't know, 5-10 videos in 10 days about me, you, all of us. Nothing about video games.
No, that's okay. When they do it, it's okay. When we do anything, it's wrong. Haven't you learned by now, Ninja Kitty?
Yeah, those guys are special. They're like, this is why they are together. It's like the rejects of all rejects. Like people like Darius won't take them. No one will like listen to these guys. So they're like, this is the bottom of the barrel. We have only each other. So it's so sad. It's.
You seen the one time they're like, Tony just keeps making videos on the Amico. I'm like, my last like 8 videos had nothing to do with it. I haven't made an Amico video in like a month. They're like, you're obsessed.
No, I'm obsessed because I made one video in 5 months. It was mostly because of the Super Nintendo thing and him going broke. And
Tommy's good friends with Kevin Smith, so he's gonna go print out all the comments and go door to door kicking people's asses. He's like, what'd you say, you 500-pound Canadian, Ninja Kitty? If you ever get out of your mobility scooter, Tommy will kick your ass, Ninja Kitty.
I'm not American. I don't have a mobility scooter.
You're not from Kentucky?
Not from Kentucky.
He's from the upside Kentucky.
Apparently, Canadian Gamer thinks it's funny that PK has 899 subs.
PK? I thought PK was over 900, but...
No. He just barely got close to 900. You know what's funny is all of Canadian Gamers' tweets are like shitting on RGT, Metal Jesus, and all them. But then he calls everyone else obsessed.
He's the king of projecting. Like, I don't think there's a better example than just that guy.
Yeah, he's got a tweet. It's John Hancock put out a video, 5 retro systems to start collecting today. And he put, it's videos like this that ruin the hobby for everyone. It's already hard to collect for these systems without further artificial inflation. Let me translate that to English. I'm poor and I can't afford shit. And if people make videos like this, then other people are going to be interested in collecting and prices will go up. And then I can't buy my shitty games for $3.
Bruh.
Some funny folks there.
He's complaining about Metal Jesus losing his voice. It's weird.
The guy smeared chocolate on his face and put a pink hat on. Why does anyone listen to it?
I don't know if that was chocolate, Ninja Kitty.
Oh, apparently he's going after...
he could have been licking PK's asshole or something. It could have been that. I don't know.
Well,
Probably.
I think it's more likely Mosso's.
You know that chick, was it Cannot Be Tamed or whatever?
Yes, the one he said he admired and was creepy.
Yeah, well, now he's pissed at her because she put a video, the games that keep going back to. He said, come up with your own ideas. Yeesh. He gets mad when women do videos, doesn't he?
Remember when Saggy made him cry? Now that was fucking funny.
Yeah.
I'll never let that go. Like,
how dare she? She doesn't have the right.
How dare she?
She shouted at me. She was rude to me. It's not very ladylike behavior.
My mommy
Whoa,
says.
whoa, whoa. This is why you guys are part of the simp army of Saggy Melons. I bet you're subscribed to our OnlyFans. Fucking simps.
Oof.
No.
Are you sure, Bob? Because I'm pretty sure you said you did subscribe to our OnlyFans.
No, I never said that, and I'm definitely not. I'd tell you if I did. I considered it, but I kind of consider Saggy a friend or a friend of the channel or whatever. And I just think it'd be weird looking at her even lewd. It'd just be like looking at a friend lewd.
Hey, you had no problem looking at Carl nude or half nude.
Fair point. No.
Bruh. Oh man.
That's just weird.
That was a bit. Oh, that was a bit before my time. The topless Carl, shirtless Carl. Well, no, I think like that's the first I discovered his channel was when it was shirtless Carl.
Yeah, but poor Carl's he's off of the YouTubes now. He's off of the.
He's back, man.
The social media. Is he back already?
Yes, he's.
Yes, he is
the
back.
logo and stuff.
What?
He's made Darius a logo for him to help him against the Fish Lips army or whatever he was saying, or the Fish Lips something. Boy. Carl lives a very busy life.
Carl's a graphic designer now.
Yeah. Not exactly. No. I think one of them is a stock image with the stock image watermarks all over it.
It is. That's why blind is laughing.
It's like two neon lights. One's a D, one's a T.
Oh man!
I'm sure Darius is thrilled that he has an assistant now.
Carl, man.
12 for effort.
Oh, he has renewed drive to make content. My fault. I thought he.
Oh boy.
We can trash Fish Lips on my stream Sunday, and I know you've got some material, Al. Wow. This is sad.
Is it more sad than Cameron, though?
I think we're getting to that level.
Nah, I think Cameron's more sad.
I don't know.
I don't see Carl splicing in a porn star into his videos going rawr with the fake applause. I think he still takes stick.
That video is a low.
Evil
for
says,
any man.
and CG edited and uploaded the video. It wasn't even live. Carl was asking if he is now part of the Darius army. I guess he is. Until he gets kicked out in 2 days. Or 1 day even.
I remember Canadian Gamer was like, you don't show your face. I'm like, dude, you don't even show... you claim to have a girlfriend, but instead of showing your girlfriend on your videos, you always put porn stars. And then he took that as me wanting to see his girlfriend because I'm a creep. That was the narrative he ran with. Because him and his lady friend enjoy their evenings, unlike that loser Ninja Kitty and his fake wife.
Yeah, well, maybe his lady friend is... You watch South Park, right?
Yeah.
You know Jennifer Lopez in South Park?
Jennifer Lopez? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just drawn on his hand. Maybe that's why his mouth is black, because he's making out with her. He's smearing it on his face. Poor guy. Oh no, good old Canadian Gamer. I'm sure he's living it up with his 3,000 subs and his Gentleman's Club show or whatever.
That's
didn't
made
seem
a
like he
return, I
was.
just saw.
Has it?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a new episode yesterday or a day
Did he get
ago.
like... Well, since he has like 3,000 whatever subs, he should have at least...
I think he got 100 views or
1,000
something.
views? What? Only 100 views?
Only 100.
Taco burrito.
My God, my shitty ass channel with 600 subs somehow got 1,200 views, even though it's an irrelevant topic.
Oof.
Tommy Talarico, or 1,300 views.
No.
Yeah, but
is he even posting videos?
Our good friend Retro Bro, he has what, 5,000 subs?
Does he? I thought it was like 3,000. I don't know.
No, 3,000. Okay, he's got 3,500. And I mean, his last stream got like 400 views. So
There you go.
Canadian Gamer's right there in the sweet spot. I mean, he's obviously.
I need to take advice from these guys of how to do YouTube because they tend to make videos or post on Twitter of how to do it right.
I still want a Sonic headphones review. It's taking way too long.
I'm amazed that Dean has not done this yet. It seems like something he would do.
A Sonic headphone review?
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems like something he would do.
I can tell you now they're trash.
Well, I want it coming from his mouth.
True, true.
He said they were great. He was like really happy. He was mad that you made fun of his headphones.
They're like $20 in fucking Walmart or wherever it is. They're not good quality. These are good quality. And even these are a little bit. These are a little bit
What's your
below my
headphones?
standards. These are the Steel Series 7X wireless. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Maybe a little bit lacking in the bass and treble. They're not great for YouTube videos. YouTube videos sound a bit funny on them. They're okay for music. They're more for gaming.
Hey,
yeah, I don't really
your
have a gaming
videos sound
headset.
way better than my videos, Bob. So don't even worry about it. I have trash audio. Everyone knows that. Tommy Oyemiko's always bitching and moaning.
Me too.
Sounds like trash.
So you're saying we should get you some Sonic headphones?
I think so.
Headset?
I really
Make a
think that
Sonic mic.
I don't think it's the mic so much as the acoustics and the way I talk.
No, it's the mic.
I don't know, because I had a different mic before and it was just as trashy.
Yeah, that's because you're buying trashy mics.
Yeah, what is your mic?
Right now is a toner mic.
Toner, that shit.
Oh.
I had a Steel Series headset that's trash. What do you want me to get, Bob? You want me to get a fucking
I want you to get an
Blue
80. No, don't get a Blue Yeti. That shit. I was actually. I don't want to spoil it. I was going to surprise you at Christmas.
Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, but
No.
if I don't. You're gonna.
Ninja's like, don't.
Hey, what's wrong with the Blue Yeti? I have one.
It's terrible. It's trash.
It's solid.
I don't like them. They're cheap, but you can get better.
Cheap as in $170 cheap?
Fuck, you didn't pay that much for it.
No, I paid 80 or 90, but
they retail for that amount here.
They're just about worth 80 or 90, but like for an extra 30 or 40 bucks, you can get an AT 2020 USB Plus, which is more or less studio quality audio. So
Haunted Whizfest, don't knock people's style. He probably chose it because it's cheap, comfy, and readily replaceable without waiting a few checks to buy it. If you're talking about me, no. I just bought the first cheap shit that I found. If you're talking about Marceau's Sonic headphones, no. He bought them because he loves Sonic. He wants to have Sonic.
He loves Sonic.
He wants Sonic to make him pregnant.
Whoa.
Well, I'm an audiophile. I like my high quality audio. I've got my
You're telling me, Blinded, that Marceau doesn't have an OC which is having Sonic's baby?
Oh my god, is that true?
Oh god. No.
I don't have proof of it, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Like we all know it. But we can't deny it.
SM58's alright. I've got this. This is my Audio Technica AT2035. I got this for an absolute steal. It's an XLR mic.
He stole it.
No,
he stole it.
I've got 258 and
Latino discount? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Did you know people were mad about that, Bob? They called me racist for getting a Latino discount.
That's because you're white, Tony.
No, they said. Apparently, this was a Latino person. He's like, "Why should us Latinos get a discount and other races have to pay full price?" And I'm like what?
What the fuck?
Like I'm not allowed to get like cheap food because other people have to pay full price. I don't understand. And then Tommy Uyumiko was mad because he said that apparently he wanted to see receipts on my Latino discount. And I said, Tommy, this isn't the kind of thing that you put on the books, right? This is like an off the books type thing. So then he was like, oh, So they're stealing food and giving it to you for a cheap price and pocketing the money. Are you paying for their taxes? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, chill the fuck out.
You tell him to stop smoking.
Yeah.
He was probably high when he typed that comment.
No, I think he was safe.
Oh man.
I'm like, really, guys? Like, you've never gotten food from people? Like, fuck, shit's never fallen off a truck. Y'all make me feel like I'm ghetto, and I'm not ghetto.
I'm pretty ghetto. But I don't think we can use that word anymore because it's got racial connotations.
I can use it because I'm not white.
Nah.
You can't use it, Bob. Because you're
I
a cracker.
can't. No.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a biscuit. I'm sorry. You're from England.
Fuck you, you spick.
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh!
Whoa!
Bob just went. That was 100. You can't go that far.
That was like, jeez.
Oh shit! Cancel
Like,
me
don't-
now.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm kicked off the show. This is my last appearance. It's been nice, guys.
Damn. That was crazy.
I didn't have a fair response.
He went to the max there.
Yeah, you went full fucking.
Nuclear.
Yeah. I'm impressed, Bob.
Damn.
There's no hesitation.
It was like
If I'd
muscle
hes-
memory.
If I'd hesitated, it wouldn't have had the impact.
There's like no mercy. You're like, fucking mercies for the weak. Bam.
Oh shit! I'm
Tony,
in
what are you gonna
trouble.
call him now?
Sorry.
I'm just
He already
stunned.
called me a cracker.
No,
Well,
biscuit.
crackers are delicious, and biscuits are. That's what you guys eat, so that's not an insult. Isn't like a chav or chaz or whatever it is, and what they call people in England, they're like rednecks.
Essentially, yeah. And like any hood rats, really, I like chavs. Like, if you go around wearing like Nike and Reebok and shit like that, you're considered a chav. The reason I wear hoodies is to kind of blend in, really, because I used to get so much stick for being a alternative, I guess. Grebo, grunger, goth.
Yeah. We is on the frog's case. Yeah, he's always on my case. What's up, rabbit dude? I'm glad I'm going to jail. I'm not going to jail. Don't worry. No link, rabbit dude. This is no open panel. We're not open panel.
Yeah, we don't want people coming on and say racist stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would be terrible if that actually happened. I can't imagine that we would allow such a thing to go on.
I'm getting docked this week.
Fuck it.
Yeah, Bob's not coming back, man.
Bob's on the job.
You know who's coming after you, Bob, now.
Canadian
You're
game.
making all these. You know who, man? The cartel, they coming after you, man.
I don't think Canadian Gamer is coming after Bob.
That shit hit me in my soul, Bob. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit. Sorry, dude. I feel bad.
Damn! Like I was like, did I hear what I just thought I heard?
I can't believe I said what I said. I'm shocked myself.
His real accent comes out again.
What the fuck? I was like, that's not funny. That's it.
Bob, this is where you go, arriba, arriba. Andale.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Well, like, crackers are slow as much as. The
No,
other one.
don't try to. Don't try.
don't.
Don't even try. Just let it be. Just let it be.
Bruh.
I don't know if you can tell, but I've gone bright red.
We can tell.
I can't tell. You're pretty white, and I still can't tell.
Don't fuck with Bob. That's how it started, and you see what happened. He just went full nuclear on me.
Note to self: don't call him biscuits. He gets upset.
Yeah, that's what did it. It
We
was
go
the biscuit.
nuclear. So,
Anyways.
Bob's trying to get out of this. It's all right. It's all right.
You only live once, eh?
Yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky. Potion Sword's not here. That's it. That's gonna make fucking Amico.
Oh, that you would have been dead.
You know who else is gonna be on you? If Gen X finds out about that, Bob, that's it.
Oh, everyone's going to be on me. People always spread lies and rumors about me. Let's give them something to actually like sink their teeth in to
Oh,
chat
you know
shit
who ain't
about
gonna be
me.
your friend no more, Bob? Retro Complex.
Oh my god, I'm going to cry a river.
He said on Twitter that if any creator, big or small, uses a slur against Latinos, you can't respect that person. He's never gonna go to their channel again.
But if they like insult black people and stuff, that's okay.
I guess.
Oof.
I just wanted. It should be a blanket statement, you know, like
no
anybody.
racism anywhere. Should be. That's not what he said.
Well, I think context intent has a big factor in it.
Well, I think the fact you're wearing a white hoodie is also not a good thing either. But wait, no, you're not wearing a pillowcase and a white hoodie. We're good.
But he's
that
British.
Was funny. That was good, Bob.
Maybe not for my career, but yeah, it was good for the moment.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Dude, if you want to really sabotage your career, you really have to step up your game.
Yeah.
You're not a flat earther. You don't have chocolate smeared on your face. You didn't create an Amico
Podcast
channel for 2 years and then go, "Ooh, it sucks," and then pretend that it's like everyone forgot or something.
Oof.
You really have to do a lot to tank yourself.
Yeah.
I'll never understand the channels that went only Amico. Never.
Never?
You never go full Amico.
Yeah, never.
Because they thought it'd pay out? Either with
I find it hard to believe.
Audience? I don't know.
I did like when I first
clue.
started covering the Amico, I did like 2 or 3 videos, and at that point I was sick of covering it, and I was like, I don't want to cover this anymore. If you guys really like, and I kind of blackmailed people. I was like, if you really want me to cover it, because my first video, which was like my first video coming back to YouTube, got like something stupid like 4,000 views, and I was a bit annoyed I didn't get like a ton of subscribers from it. But then I was like, look, if you guys actually want me to cover this more, subscribe to my channel. And then no one subscribed, and then I was like, okay, fine, I'm not going to cover it. And then
Evil Knievel says, Tony, I speak housekeeper. What video? We'll link to what video, Rabbit Dude?
Where you do not allow people to go on anymore.
Evil, when did this happen? What are we talking about? Are you talking about? Just go look at the last short that I have on my channel that says Latino discount. I think it's a gyro, a gyro. A gyro sandwich.
sometimes
Gyros suck.
gyro or gyro.
What?
Shawarmas. Way better.
Also suck.
Nah, man. It's all about doner kebab.
Donairs also suck.
No, not donairs. Not Canadian donairs. Doner.
Like Richard?
Like the Donner Party?
DONOR, not DONAIR. I wonder if I don't know if they're the same thing still.
It's called Channel Update. What are you talking about, Evil People?
He's causing trouble. Time to shadow ban him. Does Evil still not know why he's shadow banned from Dean? I'm amazed. I keep bugging him, but...
No, I think he knows. I think he just doesn't accept it.
Okay.
Are you shadow banned? I'm shadow banned from Dean. Dean shadow banned me.
Dean shadow banned me because we made fun of him one time. He gets all upset.
But he's not soft. He made like a whole Twitter video, and am I misremembering that? That's a thing that happened, right?
I said I was not going to mention this gentleman, and I'm going to stick by that.
Are we talking about Richard Donner still? Which
Richard
All right.
Donner.
Similar.
It has been 2 hours and 45 minutes. I think that's enough gaming for today.
Now we're going to talk a load of crap. No.
No, I think that's it. That's it. I'm good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Damn, it's not even 6 a.m.
Yeah, I know. It's almost 1 a.m. I'm tired. I was doing a lot of work today around the house. And,
Huh? What?
Is it
hard to
housekeeping?
I did some lawn care outside. I was mowing,
Bruh.
trimming hedges. It's the whole thing. Hey, Bob, can I ask you a question? What do you call two Mexicans in a bathroom, Bob?
I don't know. What do you call two Mexicans in a bathroom?
Spick and span.
Oh,
And with that, it's time to leave. Thank you all for watching. I will be
This is the
canceled
final
later.
show.
Yeah, it's final episode. Love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.